sorry.
I Mario.
Taser. Taser. Oh my nuts!
17. What?
Oh God, my back! Oh fuck!
Taser. Taser.
Whoop-de-doo.
Don't fuck about no beef, nigga. I'm about money. Unless the beef is translating into money, then what we talking about? We too grown to be talking about some beef. Beef? Beef? Ain't no such thing as beef no more. It's calculated moves to figure out how we can get more visibility for ourselves. But if we not working towards on no visibility, do your...
I had a dream to be dripping off VVS diamonds. Now I'm flexing on Malcolm and I'm shining. 500K on the wrist, 60K in my mouth. I brush with Windex, gang.
Whoop-de-doo.
I told you not to put your hands on me!
Ma'am, get down from there.
Now you feel me? Huh? You still gonna talk slick?
Lady, I didn't even...
You know why I pulled you over?
Cause I was speeding?
No, cause you're black. We're supposed to pull people over if they're black. I'm supposed to hit you with this now, okay?
What? No way!
Yes, Ray. Please get on the ground so I can beat you.
No!
Come on, I'm just trying to do my job.
I'm suing.
You've heard of Hooters, now get ready for Cooters.
Okay, let's go.
Instead of having waitresses with big breasts, I've gathered the biggest camel toes in the city. All of our waitresses will be circus trained and will be walking around on stilts so you can get the best view of their snatch from the comfort of your chair. And they can queef on command. We won't serve wings, only legs. And cut.
Yeah, I'm finna give it to you bitches today, yeah. Miss Dick Dash back with another one, ho. You think I was playing with you bitches? I got me fucked up, ho. Ho. She got that Lulu, bitch, Lulu, bitch, Lulu, shot that Lulu, yeah, Lulu, yeah, Lulu, bitch, yeah. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch, bend over. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch. Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Lulu on the butt. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck. Yeah, she growing up with her bitches getting fucked up. You got that.
Whoop-de-doo.
She wanted 40, yeah. She wanted 40, yeah. She wanted 40, yeah. She wanted 40, yeah. She wanted 40. So she called me sugar daddy with the caddy. She want money, I want honey. Sugar daddy, you want money?
Just like Mario Luigi. I swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. Swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Hold up. Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Shit on. I feel like Marvin Gaye. Yo, bitch just told me let's get it on. Let's go. What? Yo, bitch call me Myron. Hold up. Then I pop out. I got that shit on. I'm getting money now. I was the one that used to shit on. I feel like Marvin Gaye. Yo, bitch just told me let's get it on. I wake up every day, get fly as fuck. I'm Mr. Put It On and go fuck up a check on your bitch. She know my money long. She said
bitch, you broke as hell, ain't got no paper, so y'all don't get along. She see my money long, so she gon' blow me like a trombone. Let's go, yo, bitch got me.
I know I'm rolling. It's almost ready.
We're rolling.
We on camera now?
Yeah.
Oh, revolution, revolution, revolution. I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Hey, come on, dog. Stay in my face. Listen, I'm sure a lot of you probably think you know what's going on in the world. But quite frankly, y'all don't know shit. Is that me floating or you? Come on, nigga. That don't matter. I'm talking about the man. The man!
What's going on? What's going on? What's the deal? What up, though? Shout out to everybody pulling up on the boy. How y'all feeling on this fine Friday? This fine fall Friday? Shout out to everybody that pulled up. I see you go, Cree Cree. What's good, Booski? Welcome in. Black Couch, what up, though, man? I see you said, can you laugh? Yes, yes, from the Black Couch. This is a safe space. Laugh at everything, man. We gotta have some fun here. How you doing, 18? Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to have you. Shout out to Riri. Shout out to Leon Turner. What's up, my guy? I seen Pooh Man and Rachel G in here earlier. Shout out to them. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? I hope everybody having a great Friday, late afternoon, early evening. Uh, thanks for pulling up. Thanks for rocking with me. We making our way, doing our thing. I got a pretty smooth show lined up. I actually got quite a few videos for us to react to. Usually I'm up here just yapping and yapping, but I got some videos for us to react to. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if the audio is coming in clear. But yeah, so today I wanted to talk about something that is really important to me, and I think it spills over into a lot of platforms. I think that a lot of things that we talk about on the internet revolve around this topic for real. You guys can hear me good? Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so title is Will Black People Ever Trust Each Other? I wanted to touch on this because it seems like there's a few things that we could be building on a lot better if we did trust each other more. So I think that's a reoccurring thing. I think we're not gonna be able to tackle this whole topic in one sitting, but I wanted to kind of focus on the criminality aspect that holds us from trusting each other. We kind of envision each other like criminals sometimes. We have negative stereotypes for ourselves. It could be to our detriment. Fear is never a good thing. Welcome in, Olawa. How you doing? Good to have you. Good to see you. Definitely love my people. I know that, we have a community of people, they call them the YNs. We got the hood, we got things that could cause fear. You know, it's understandable, but think that we stereotype ourselves too much. We put ourselves in a situation where we fall for the same stereotypes that non-black people put on us. And that's never a good thing. I pride myself on being against the stereotypes in certain ways, and some of them I embrace. Think that it's a healthy balance. What's going on? Excuse me. What's going on, Chelsea Lynn? Pumpkin Spice, welcome in, welcome in. Hope everybody is having a great Friday. So yeah, we're gonna really deal with it. The black people trusting each other from a criminality aspect. I got a couple videos from the brother Medium Man. Shout out to Medium Man. He's always breaking down statistics about the black community that makes understanding us as a people a lot easier. Truly respect what Medium Man is doing. I just got a notification that he was live. I almost ain't show up trying to watch the show, but I'm gonna have to be replay gang over there. It's funny that he's live and I got content from him to react to, but definitely definitely gotta mess with Medium Man. If you're not aware, if you're not hip, make sure I drop his link, or if anybody want to drop it, any one of my mods want to drop his link. So yeah, that's gonna be the thing. We're gonna react to some of his content. That's gonna help us open up the conversation. I'm gonna give my little few thoughts about it. I'm gonna drop the link, see if anybody else wanna come up and share their thoughts about it, share their experiences with the community. I'll be interested in knowing how you feel about trust in the black community. If you're black, do you trust other black people? Do you hire other black people? I actually forgot to load up the video from a rapper in Detroit who said he didn't hire black people. So we can just talk about it. It was a real small clip. So we'll bring that up after we get through a few videos. And then, I got Black Couch in here, I got Chelsea in here, I got Ree Pink in here. I love to know you guys' experiences as well with the stereotypes of criminality in the black community. Like is before you were in the spaces with black people, before how your experiences in real life with the black community has been. Have you felt a fear? We're gonna get a little racial. I promise every live stream not gonna be racial intense. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna have some fun with this topic too. But this is not a place of hate or malice to anybody, any group, any community. We all welcome over here. This is just a place to have the conversations. I think that that's a healthy way to break down barriers. We have these conversations with each other. We put it all on the table, and we can actually unify and build and relate and grow and mature together through the conversations. Not trying to isolate and box people away. Never a good way to deal with each other. We all here together. We all go through our different challenges and our different POVs in America, but we all Americans at the end of the day. We just all have different journeys. My journey as a Black American growing up in Detroit is different from a Black American growing up in the South, growing up on the East Coast, growing up on the West Coast, growing up in the mountains, and it's different from white people growing up in these different regions, Mexican people, Asian people, but we all share one common thing. We here, we love America, and we want to have better relations with each other. Too much divisiveness, it's too much trying to strip us apart, The best way to control some people is to divide and conquer. So we not doing none of that over here. I don't believe in demonizing my own community. I'm highly against that. I love my people, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not gonna ever stereotype my own people, and that's really the topic. Why do we, as Black people, stereotype other Black people? That type of mindset comes from people who have a closed mindedness when it comes to racial topics. You sharing those same talking points with people that just fearful. That myth of you walking down the street and the old white lady locks her door when she see a black guy walking up the street. I have a beard and dreadlocks. Well, I could fall in that stereotype, and I'm not out here trying to hurt anybody. I don't rob nobody. I don't do nothing to nobody. I just mind my business. I work my job, and I think a lot of black people and a lot of people, period, just do that. Just live. So we gonna get into it. I'm gonna be doing too much yapping in a little while, so I'm not gonna yap y'all to death right now. Shout out to everybody for pulling up. Bear with me because some of these videos loaded the order. So I might stumble around trying to make sure I found the right video I want to play first. But we're gonna get through it. Like I said, I got a nice amount of clips from the brother Medium Man. And yeah, I'm just gonna start playing the content.
Black men comprise about 7% of the United States population, not 13%. Over 99% of black men will never commit a homicide. Most violent crime in America is intraracial. People are harmed by those they know and live near.
Just need you to kind of and Steve, when I say this, it's not a challenge, but I got to ask you, you got to tell me these sources where you're getting this 12 times more likely a black man killing a white person. I got to know that, not because it's contradictory, but because I like to have facts. Give me the source.
I'll give them to you. Yeah, when we do it, we always give a QR code where you can see all of them. These are coming from either the FBI or DOJ.
You say
that statement is a lie, and the proof comes directly from his own source. Under his video, Crowder links to an article titled Ben Shapiro, The Left's Favorite Lie, Widespread White on Black Violence, published in the Dispatch, April 21st, 2023. That article cites the 2019 FBI expanded homicide data, and that's the exact source Crowder is referencing. Now here's what that FBI data actually says. In 2019, there were 3,299 white murder victims, and 566, about 17%, were killed by black offenders. That same year, there were 20,906 black murder victims, and 246, about 8%, were killed by white offenders. So when you compare those numbers, that's roughly a 2.3 to 1 difference, not 12. Crowder and Shapiro both took the same 2019 FBI table, twisted it, and presented it as if white people are under siege from black violence. That's not just misleading, that's misquoting federal data. And here's the context they completely leave out. According to the same FBI report, more than 80% of all homicides in America are intraracial. That means most white victims are killed by white offenders, and most black victims are killed by black offenders. Crime happens within communities, not because of race, but because of proximity and environment. So let's be clear, this isn't about defending one group over another. It's about defending the truth. Crowder's 12 times claim is a lie. And the FBI data from 2019, the very link he shared, proves it. If we're going to talk about crime and race in America, we owe people honesty, not headlines designed to divide.
Mass shootings and serial killings are disproportionately committed by white men when measured by per capita impact, scale, and fatality counts. Black defendants represent over half of all homicide exonerations, showing that arrest share exaggerates true offending share. Socioeconomic conditions, not race, are the dominant predictor of violent crime. When you understand these facts, the black crime narrative collapses because it was never about data. It was about maintaining a sense of moral superiority through selective reporting. Why does this imbalance persist? Because fear generates profit. Media outlets know that a story about a black suspect sells better than the one about systemic failure or a white perpetrator. Political commentators understand that the easiest way to mobilize their base is to manufacture danger. Black crime is not a data trend, it's a business model. The truth is this: violence in America is a human problem, not a racial one. And the responsible way to discuss it is by acknowledging the full picture, not just a convenient slice. If we are serious about addressing crime, we need policies rooted in prevention, not prejudice. We need to confront poverty, trauma, lack of education, and the availability of illegal weapons. We need evidence-based strategies, not racially coded sound bites. When we strip the propaganda away, the truth is simple. No race owns crime, no race owns virtue, and no community benefits from fear as its framework. So when someone says black fatigue, ask them exactly what they're tired of. Because if it's the data they want, we have it. If it's context they need, we brought it. And if it's honesty they're afraid of, then maybe that's the fatigue they should be addressing. And just in case you didn't hear me in the beginning, this message is not made to comfort or to appease. It is made to clarify. I am not asking anyone to stop being afraid. Fear is human. I am asking you to understand what you fear and why. If the data makes you feel uncomfortable, good. That means you're learning. If evidence challenges your assumptions, good. That means you're growing. The real fatigue isn't racial, it's intellectual. I'm tired of people mistaking emotion for evidence and politics for proof. So from this point forward, when someone says black fatigue, remember what you learned here, because the truth has receipts, and now so do we. And we understand that white fatigue is real.
Man, Medium Man touched on so much in that video. Definitely like what he said about fear. Fear is healthy, it's a human trait. But I think fear from propaganda is the unhealthy part. Like the brother said, we got to use the statistics and the numbers and the understanding and the intellect to gather comfortability with each other. Black on black crime is not a thing. You hear that term thrown around so much. I've been hearing it my whole life, but I never hear white on white crime, Mexican on Mexican crime, or anything of the sort when, like we just heard, crime is interracial. It's not about black people, it's about community and poverty and resources. I really don't like black people that use the phrase black fatigue. I don't like that phrase at all because it doesn't, what do you mean by that? You know, what are you tired of? What are we doing that you're fatigued from? I could go on and on about that. But yeah, the brother touched on a lot. The video, Stephen Crawford, we got a few clips about that interview. Doing the same thing a lot of these whitehead talking points do. They just take FBI statistics incorrectly and run with it, hoping nobody's gonna do the research on their own and understand for themselves. I'm gonna play this next video. Like I said, we're gonna run through these clips and then we're gonna open up the conversation. Shout out to Black America and Project Leroy coming in.
So now that I've dismantled the myths and exposed the selective storytelling, it's time to talk about what comes next. Because debunking misinformation isn't the destination. It's the starting line for something bigger. Data literacy, social accountability, and public renewal. So if we want to have honest conversations about safety and justice, we need to start by
I'm gonna actually come back to that clip. I wanna find another one from you.
Let's correct the record. The population reality is that black men make up approximately 7 to 7.5% of the United States population, not 13%. An arrest is an allegation, not a verdict. And urban departments have higher clearance rates because they receive more resources and report data more consistently. Roughly 80% of white victims are harmed by white offenders. About 90% of black victims are harmed by black offenders. So when commentators imply that black men are systemically targeting white citizens,
White people are 12 times as likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around. I'm just going to shoot you straight. It's not even close.
they are not citing evidence. They are perpetuating a myth.
Straight from the FBI's own expanded homicide data, Table 6 for 2022. Out of all recorded homicides that year, there were 504 white victims killed by black offenders and 114 black victims killed by white offenders. That's a difference of about 4.4 times, not 12. And here's what Crowder leaves out entirely. More than 80% of all murders are intraracial. That means most white people are killed by other white people, and most black people are killed by other black people. So the 12 times talking point isn't just wrong. It's designed to inflame racial fear instead of addressing violence where it actually happens, within communities themselves. Don't let people twist the numbers. The facts are public, and they tell a very different story.
And let's not forget, according to the National Registry of Exonerations, black defendants account for more than half of all homicide exonerations in the United States. Even with the subset of people arrested, many were later proven innocent. Those arrests remain in the black offender column of public debate. But the truth is more complex. If a dataset cannot distinguish between guilt and wrongful conviction, it cannot serve as moral evidence.
And then you look at the average amount of times that someone in this country is arrested before they're brought in for killing, charged with murder. Do you know how many times they're arrested on average before they murder? 11 times.
The average murderer's been arrested 11 times before killing someone. That sounds shocking until you check the actual source. That number didn't come from national data at all. It came from Washington, D.C.'s police chief, Robert Contee, who said the average homicide suspect in D.C. had been arrested about 11 times.
We need to keep violent people in jail. Right now, the average homicide suspect has been arrested 11 times prior to them committing a homicide. That is a problem. That is a problem.
That's a local statistic, not a national one. The Bureau of Justice Statistics national data tells a different story. In its Recidivism 2012 update, the median number of prior arrests for all offenders was 9, and that includes every type of crime, not just murder. So when Crowder says the average murderer across America has 11 arrests, that's false. He took a city-level talking point and turned it into a national scare line. The truth? There's no federal data showing that number. Always check the source, because context changes everything.
So if you find yourself asking, why does this myth persist? Because fear sells. Fear drives engagement, engagement drives profit, and profit sustains prejudice. If you convince a nation that one group is inherently dangerous and you can justify surveillance, over-policing, and discrimination as public safety, that is not data, it is deflection.
And our system, 3 strikes in California, right? That was a 3-strike policy. The reason that was changed, they said it was racist. Crime went down in black communities 30%.
Steven Crowder claimed that California's 3 strikes law reduced crime in black communities by 30%. That number is not a measured outcome. It came from a 1994 RAND Corporation projection made before the law was even enforced. RAND's researchers modeled a possible statewide drop of 22 to 34% if the policy were applied perfectly. But real data never matched that forecast. Between 1995 and 1998, California's overall crime rate fell roughly 10%, similar to the national decline that happened everywhere during the same years. Later analyses, including the University of California, Berkeley Punishment and Democracy Study, and reports from the California Legislative Analyst's Office, 2005, found no independent and 30% reduction linked specifically to the law itself. So Crowder's statement confuses a projection with an outcome and inflates the impact by about 3 times.
Yeah, dropping more knowledge. I like what he touched on at the beginning. Black people are over 50% likely to be not exonerated from the arrest, not the convictions. We are not responsible for 50% convicted crime. We are arrested for crime at a rate due to over policing. This is why I have a problem with the National Guard being called in, because we're already under over policing, which has not been a good thing for our community. So the talking point that if you're not doing crime, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Well, we get arrested for 50% of the crimes that we did not commit. We're turned around, we get exonerated. So many black people get arrested and let out of jail and have to get paid because they're just arresting us for crimes we do not commit. That's where the fit the description comes in. It's not about trying to change your appearance so you don't fit the description. It's about the system being broken. That's why there's a such thing as fit the description, because fit the description does not apply to anyone but black people. This whole narrative of us being a criminal race, a violent race, is from propaganda and misuse, and the misuse of these statistics. The truth is in the numbers. People take these estimations or they misinterpret crime statistics, and then you get so many people being loud about misinformation, and it's propaganda, and people run with it and get to talking about it. Black people, white people, whoever, a lot of people that don't live in America, this is what they hear, is the talking heads spewing these false statistics. They don't take the time to research and understand. They don't take the time to go into our communities and see our communities. They just have a fear. I live in Detroit, and people just fear the city. Oh, if I go to Detroit, something bad gonna happen to me. Well, 9 times out of 10, if you come to Detroit, you're gonna have a great time. You won't even see crime in action. You're not even gonna be aware of what's going on, because criminals usually are inflicting crime upon each other. The few cases of robberies and home invasions aside, most crime and most murder are criminals retaliating against other criminals. Crime in itself is a product of poverty. It's not a thing about race, it's a thing about poverty. We could go on and on and on about why Black people come from a community of poverty, but we're going to talk about that another time. Black America said he got robbed in Detroit. Black America, where was you at in Detroit, man? You was probably doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing. You wasn't in Detroit just minding your business and got robbed, man. Or you could have been, because crime does happen. We don't live in a utopia. So I'm not never gonna say crime doesn't happen and there aren't dangerous places at dangerous times. But for the majority, it's not like that. And crime has gone down significantly in all urban cities around the country, especially since the 90s. Media Man talked about that as well. And I'm just gonna bring it up because the video was too long for me to upload. But the 90s versus the 2020s, crime has gone down. It is not as dangerous in these communities as it was in the 90s and the 80s. So, like I said, crime is a product of poverty. Crime is worse in our heads than it is in the streets. We listen to these talking points, we listen to these people spread fear, and that's what lead us to have a fear of these communities before we go to them, before we even ever visit these places. But I'm gonna go ahead and play another video. I still got a few more clips. Then I'm gonna drop the link when we get done playing these clips. You come up and let me know about your experience.
So now that I've dismantled the myths and exposed the selective storytelling, it's time to talk about what comes next. Because debunking misinformation isn't the destination. It's the starting line for something bigger: data literacy, social accountability, and public renewal. So if we want to have honest conversations about safety and justice, we need to start by teaching people how to read data. Because a number without a denominator is a weapon. A statistic without context is a headline waiting to be misused. Here's how to approach data like an informed citizen. Know your source. Use the FBI's Crime Data Explorer, the Bureau of Justice Statistics, and peer-reviewed research, not social media screenshots. Understand the difference between arrests and convictions. An arrest is a moment. A conviction is a conclusion. They are not interchangeable. Account for unsolved cases. You can't build racial claims on incomplete data. Unknown offenders are a statistical void, and they're not neutral. Distinguish intra-racial from interracial patterns. Most violent crime happens within communities, not across them. Geography, not genetics, drives proximity. Examine socioeconomic context. Poverty, unemployment, and education gaps are far better predictors of violence than skin color will ever be. Look for trend lines, not headlines. A one-year spike means nothing without the trajectory. Data literacy begins with time, not Twitter or X. When you as citizens understand these rules, misinformation loses its oxygen. We must rebuild how this nation talks about crime. Instead of assigning moral value to skin tone, we should be studying systems. Why are clearance rates so low in certain regions? Why do homicide investigations in rural counties, often majority white, lag far behind cities in closure? Why are resources distributed unevenly when human life carries the same value everywhere? The answer is not race, it's inequity. Until we confront that truth, we will continue mistaking symptoms for causes. And to the journalists, pundits, and creators, this part is simple. If you have a platform, you have a responsibility. Statistics are not props. They are human lives rendered into numbers. When you choose which stories to tell and which to ignore, you shape public perception. If your coverage reinforces fear rather than understanding, you are not reporting, you are recruiting. And to the audience who consume these stories, skepticism is not cynicism. Ask questions, demand sources, refuse to let outrage replace accuracy. Because democracy is not sustained by feelings, it is sustained by facts. Change doesn't start in the District of Columbia, it starts at the neighborhood level. Every community can take measurable steps to strengthen itself against the narratives that divide us. Education initiatives. Incorporate data literacy and critical thinking workshops in schools, libraries, and community centers. Public health partnerships. Treat violence prevention as health prevention. Address trauma, addiction, and mental health with the same urgency as policing. Economic empowerment. Support entrepreneurship, vocational training, and financial literacy programs that reduce poverty, which is the strongest social determinant of crime. Mentorship and media literacy. Pair young people with mentors who can help them navigate misinformation, stereotypes, and digital manipulation. And lastly, cross-community dialogue. Create spaces where diverse groups can discuss safety and reform grounded in evidence, not emotion. A well-informed public is the strongest defense against propaganda. Accountability must flow in all directions. Yes, individuals who commit crimes must face justice, but so should institutions that manipulate fear for profit. It means holding political influencers responsible when they distort public data for clout. Justice without accountability is theater. Truth without context is propaganda. Our job is to end both. Peace.
The Media Man just kind of touched on a lot with solutions. He gave solutions into having the understanding and realizing that once we have the conversations and once we really understand the data, we can truly heal the narrative of fearing each other, of fear for the Black community. We have these conversations. We talk about reducing poverty. Crime is a result of poverty. Financial education, education period, having resources and opportunities in these neighborhoods makes the world a change. It doesn't have to be a tradition of crime. It doesn't have to be a heritage of crime. You give these young people opportunities to expand their brains, expand their knowledge, expand their experiences, taking trips out of their community when they're young through field trips, just having a nice, healthy, rounded childhood will prevent a lot of this crime as you grow up and you grow older. And just having a conversation about fear versus understanding, understanding what's going on, understanding the systems at place, understanding the people that profit from having this propaganda, understanding that people get profit from demonizing our community and creating fear propaganda about our community is one of the most profitable things you can do. Look at some of the creators that grown from doing this. You know, I talk about the Raccoon Railroad all the time. A lot of these Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum's and Stevie Knight, even though he's backpedaling and Aaron Gaines and just talking bad about our community, it profits because there are people that just have hate in their heart. And we don't never talk about the rural areas who police themselves. A lot of rural America are just able to be sovereign citizens in their own community. Sheriffs are related to the criminals. A lot of things go down in these Ozarks and other white places that we're not in, and they don't go after criminals at the same rate. And we have to take account in the statistics for that. It's a part of America that we can't ignore, whether it's nepotism or just, you know, hey, I have more grace on these people because they look like me. Whatever the case is, crime is not just product of the Black community. It's a product of poverty, and America in its whole is built with a criminal foundation. We could go through the prohibition era. We can go through any type of era, and there's always been a significant amount of crime. We just Perfect example is the NBA players, Chauncey Billup and the other guys being the face of this organization and gambling and scheming on people, but they keep just throwing the mafia in there as a little behind the scenes whisper. Shout out to Theo Coop. He spoke about it a little bit this morning. The mafia are the ones that were providing the structure to create these crimes, but we ain't seen not a face, not a name of any of the people that's in the mafia. Some of the places I've been watching drop the families But we don't even know that the mafia getting down like that. The mafia is heavily into gambling. They helped build Las Vegas, Black America. I know you could speak on that a little bit. The mafia has been moving out here for a long time, but we don't associate them with crime. We don't associate them in anything because it's the propaganda. It's the way we look at them. Oh, they got on suits and they don't damage their communities. Crime is crime. Just because they're not out here in the streets gang banging and selling dope like we think, because we only think that because it's flooded in media. We don't see Italian mob movies anymore like that. That era has passed, but you do see rappers and black movies and power, and we're flooded with black people committing black crime. We don't really see in media other groups committing crime. I haven't seen Sons of Anarchy type show in a while. I've seen a Breaking Bad type show in a while, and even those shows are ones of ones. They're not as, we can talk about Snowfall, which I love, The Wire, which I love, Power, I fuck with Power, but I look at it as entertainment because I know my people aren't just these people. I'm gonna go ahead and play this next clip though that I do have. Shout out to Chelsea. She says they touched on there would have been mafia ties if Jerry Jones had went into business with certain people to get a team. Yeah, Chelsea, the mafia is an organization that works with the government, right? They have ties with the CIA and the FBI. They have been hired to do hits on people. I don't want to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, but the mafia was tied into doing hits and assassinations on prominent figures in America. And I think that that's a reason why we don't see them as much in the media as much anymore, because of the deals that's been cut under the table. They have a transparent relationship with government organizations that keeps them kind of clean. Like the mafia, when they would get locked up, a different experience in prison because of their connections and ties. I watched all the mob movies back in the day. Shout out to Goodfellas. They was in there cooking spaghetti and doing their thing, cooking the pastas like the homeland. And that's a subject that we can spend a lot of time talking about. But the mafia has been like a shadow organization. And black community, you taught not to snitch. We're taught not to even work with these people. So we don't have those same type of organization ties unless somebody's snitching. There's not like whole community of black criminals that's working with the government to keep their their actions on a hush hush. Black America says it's glorified when white people do the same thing, but it's not, bro. It's really not glorified because again, in this case with the gambling, you see the black people that aren't even the heads of this criminal organization, but we're not seeing the mafia. You don't see any pictures of who's in the mafia that had ties to this, but they're going down for it as well. You just hear, oh, the mafia, the La Costa Nostra, but you don't hear as many details as you hear Chauncey Billups and you see pictures of him. But let me get to the next picture going, and we gonna definitely have a whole conversation after these clips.
I'm not here today as a Republican, a Democrat, or even just an American. I'm here as a black man.
A black man.
Who is tired of watching weaponized statistics flatten our humanity and justify fear. I'm not making this video to beg anyone to see black men and women as safe or to make you feel comfortable. I'm making this video so the facts are on the record. You can believe whatever you want about us, but what you can't do is hide behind junk statistics and fear scripts. And to the pundits who walk into black spaces with a pocket full of viral numbers and a camera, do your homework. Learn the difference between arrests and convictions, between solved and unsolved, between intra-racial and interracial. If you won't, expect a response. Expect receipts. Expect your fatigue narrative to face a mirror. Because if cherry picking is your weapon, it cuts both ways. We're done debating propaganda. We're here to teach people how to read the numbers for themselves so they can stop being played, especially in the black community. I'll extend grace for ignorance if you simply haven't had time to look up the data. But once the receipts are on the table and you keep defending a falsehood, that's not ignorance anymore. That's a choice. Today, we're going to fact check a set of viral claims featured by Steven Crowder and echoed across social media. And we're going to teach you all how to read crime data so you never get hustled by them again. And let me say this as loudly as possible. One loss of life is too many. Nothing here minimizes harm. This is about how numbers are used to tell a dishonest story. Now, let's talk about where that 13%, 50% stat really comes from. The number, 13% of the population committing 50% of the murders, has been repeated so often that it feels factual. But the truth is simpler and more responsible. It is a misreading of law enforcement reporting tables. The figure comes from the FBI's Uniform Crime Reports and Supplemental Homicide Reports.
Hello, my name is Tim Ferguson, Assistant Director of the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division. The FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program, or UCR program, is proud to release monthly crime data on the FBI's Crime Data Explorer, also known as the CDE.
Those documents show arrests and known offenders in solved cases, not total crimes, not convictions, and certainly not racial predisposition.
When people quote the FBI's national crime numbers, they rarely explain how those numbers are actually collected. In the United States, there are about 18,000 law enforcement agencies. Roughly 16,300 of them are enrolled in the FBI's crime reporting system, but only about 85% actually submit usable data. That means around 15% of agencies, mostly small rural departments that serve majority white areas, do not report at all.
Each year, roughly half of the United States homicides remain unsolved. And in those unsolved cases, the offender's race is unknown. Yet commentators compare only the solved portion to the entire U.S. population. That's invalid. Solved cases reflect where law enforcement resources and attention are concentrated, primarily in urban centers with large black populations. This creates what criminologists call a clearance bias. It means the visible share of black arrests is inflated by geography and policing intensity, not by behavior. That is how statistical artifact evolves into national talking points.
Okay, the last couple clips I got here are a little shorter, so we're gonna just run through. Shout out to all the ladies I got in the building. I definitely appreciate all the ladies being here. If you know me, you know I love the ladies. I love the women's. I love the women's. Close your eyes, ladies. Let me get right back into it.
And you know what else we look at? We look at Roland Fryer from Harvard, who conducted it. Black guy, black professor, really respectable guy, honorable man, conducted a study, and he came out and he said, yeah, all of my research says that black men are 0% more likely to be shot by police officers than whites. Black people got so mad at him, he reconducted the study, a black man from Harvard, and he came to the same conclusion, and now he's not black enough.
And then we gathered literally millions and millions of data points on police use of force. And I, again, thought that this was going to show all sorts of bias. What we found was that in the kind of non-lethal uses of force, so pushing someone up against a car or drawing your weapon on them but not arresting them or pushing them on the ground, those types of uses of force, there are large racial differences. There's real racial bias in those uses of force. In fact, just here in New York, a black person during that time was 50% more likely to have force used on them in any given interaction with the police officers. Crazy, right? That was lower level uses of force. But then we also collected data from 16 different cities across the U.S. on lethal use of force, the kind of force used on Michael Brown and others. And that's what the protesting really was about. And in those uses of, in those situations, what we found was zero racial differences in police use of force. And that is the part that made people really, really upset, really angry.
Lack of bias made people upset and angry.
Yes. Yeah. And in fact, one of the, I talked to a newspaper reporter before the paper was even public, and he says, I wouldn't write about this. The first part's obvious and the second part's wrong. What do you do about that? And so, we released those results. And look, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff here. I mean, not only did we think we did a rigorous job in the actual analysis, but then we literally, when we got these very surprising results, hired new research assistants, had them do it all over again just to make sure that they were robust.
He goes, look, I was as surprised as you. I was trying to find how much worse it is. My data showed me it's not. He reconducted the study an entire time. Now, he did come to the conclusion that an officer is 18 times more likely to be shot than a black man by an officer. This is a black liberal who studies statistics. At what point do you listen to him?
Right, like I was a little worried about, not worried, but I wanted to be sensitive about putting results like this out into the world because they were also counter to my own beliefs.
Steven Crowder claimed that police are 18 times more likely to be shot than to shoot a black man. That's false. Roland Fryer's 2016 Harvard study never found anything close to 18 times. That number doesn't appear anywhere in his paper. What Fryer actually did was analyze officer-involved shootings from just 10 jurisdictions, 3 Texas cities, 6 Florida counties, and Los Angeles County. That's 10 total out of roughly 18,000 law enforcement agencies in the United States, which means his data represent about 6/1000ths of 1% of all jurisdictions. Even if you only count municipal police departments, about 12,000 total, it's still less than 1/100th%. So his findings come from less than 1/10 of 1% of U.S. jurisdictions. That's why many researchers and journalists clarify that Fryer's no racial bias in shootings result is not nationally representative. His data are highly localized, drawn from a handful of departments willing to share data, not from all 18,000 agencies nationwide. So when people quote Fryer to say there's no bias or repeat Crowder's 18 times claim, they're spreading a complete internet misquote based on a study that never claimed to represent the entire country.
Yeah, cases with Kim's, Daniel Cunningham, that is a fact. He's trying to get his grift on. He's trying to get his little Charlie Kirk going. And you see he goes to the black barbershop to try to debate people with the nonsense talking points. But in that video, he tried to argue that police don't have a bias when it comes to black people. We just seen that white guy who had an urban look to him get mistaken. I think that that cop mistook him as a black man, but the cop pulled a gun out on him because he was waving the gas pump to the clerk that he needed the pump turned on. And that man did nothing wrong. He had a gun pulled out on him and had no apology. I would love to hear when that man is suing that police department and that officer. But if he fit the description, that guy couldn't tell if he was black, just like he couldn't allegedly, and I'm doing air quotes, tell if the gas pump was a gun. That's wild that you're a police officer and you could just easily mistake a gun for a gas pump for a gun. That tells me you're the type of officer you pull over somebody, tell them get out the car, and they get out the car and they pull their phone out to call their mom or their girl or something. Oh, he got a gun, shoot, he got a gun. Like you didn't even approach the situation with your taser up because you knew that you were walking into a situation you weren't sure of. Clearly, you weren't sure if it was a gun or not because it wasn't. He tried to lie in that body cam about he had something else. It wasn't the pump. It was the pump in his hand. He wasn't waving a stick at the lady. He was waving the pump to turn it back on. And we know that police bias on the black community has been a thing for years, from Mike Brown all the way back to Rodney King and then some. Like there is not a point in time in history where there hasn't been a bias when policing the black community, over policing the black community. This is why I always will be against the National Guard being in our communities because we already have over policing from people who are police officers. The National Guard is going to come in with the idea that they're in a war zone. Trump is gassing these people heads up to think that they're going into a war zone. You think that there's not going to be a whole bunch of situations where people are being mistaken for criminals from by the National Guard, and there's going to be more deletions and murders, and the National Guard aren't going to be walking around with body cam on. It's going to be their story versus their story. It's going to be he say, she say. That's going to be terrible. I don't know why I'm the only person who thinks, and I'm sure other people may agree with me, but I think that it's a terrible thing for the National Guard to be utilized as police force in these communities. I was against militarizing the police force. Let the police be police officers. If they're dealing with dangerous criminals, let them be equipped to deal with those dangerous criminals. But to police a community that you deem high crime with militarized police or the National Guard with the police, which is it's just crazy. It sounds way too close to martial law. Never understand it. Project Leroy said he could tell he was lying because the system of white supremacy protects him from completely. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the system of white supremacy. He don't have to apologize. He don't have to be correct. He could just be got a free body that day. We don't know the mindset and the ideology of these police officers. We just know that they're in the community. And I will always say that police officers do need military training. They do need community relations training. And I really think that police officers should be forced to live in the communities that they police. You might think that that's absurd. You might think that that's crazy. But how safe or how dangerous is it if the whole police force is living in the neighborhood that they're policing? You don't think, maybe I'm just imagining, maybe I'm delirious, maybe I'm just saying wild stuff. I think that police should live in the communities, in the zip code that they police. If they're going to police that community every day, they should be required to live in that community. If you don't want to live in that community, you should not want to police that community. I think that that would stop so much unnecessary violence from the police to the community. And I also think that it will boost relations with the community and the police. That's why the police come out and they do barbecues and they play ball with the kids. They try to boost community relations. If these officers have to live in the communities that they police, it would be, and they will have no choice. And it wouldn't be like it's just one or two officers living in a community on their own. It'd be the entire police force that polices that community living in that community. First shift, second shift, third shift, the day shift, the night shift. All of them have to live in that community. I don't see anything negative coming from that. Project Leroy says, from the judge to the district attorney to the police and to the media, and the worst part is the police deputizing the citizens so to go after specific people. Exactly, man. It's the whole system, bro. The whole system was designed against us. And we know that, but they say we got a victim mindset when we say things like that. Oh, you think it's no systematic racism? You're just you're just a victim. You're a victim mindset. Man, we could go on and on. It's 2025. What can you do that a white person can't do? Not what I could do, is how I have to do it. I could do anything anybody could do. But the road that I got to take and how I got to do it and how I got to watch myself is different because I'm a black man in America. EDT Beat says, I always said that the police should live in the community that you work. EDT, I've been saying this for years, bro. Been saying this around the time where it got hot with Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, the list goes on and on. I've been saying this for years because a lot of those situations won't happen if these officers are waking up and they have to be they're gonna look at the people that they're policing as humans more than if I'm coming from the suburbs and now I'm going to the quote unquote trenches. You're already going into these communities with a bias and an understanding that is you against them, and you're just facing a whole criminal people. So that little boy that's just playing in the park, he's deemed a criminal to you because you don't know these people. You don't have no interactions with these people unless you're arresting them. So you're already aggressive in these communities. Project Leroy says all that picnic with the police in a front is a front to make black people drop their guard. Exactly. It's a front. It's definitely a front. But if they gotta live there with these people, they're gonna take it upon themselves to build with their community. If their neighbors are black and a part of the community that they're policing, they're going to one get a better understanding of their community, and two, they're going to be on their best behavior because they are a part of the community. They're not going to be so quick to be disrespectful, and they're going to be able to police in a healthier mindset than it is when they're traveling 10, 20, 30 miles out of their community to go police a community. Let's not even talk about how they can brutalize somebody or even delete somebody and then just go move to another police department. That's a whole nother thing. And Theo Coop with the Do Better pod actually was the first person that made me realize that cops do that. I didn't even know that was a thing until we was watching from his body cams, and he would talk about that. These cops could just create egregious acts and move from police department to police department. Make them motherfuckers live in a community that they got to police. Jake Leroy says, facts, we cannot be the black version of Daniel Holtzclaw, who was a white supremacist police officer. Yeah, and you never gonna see black police doing the same things that the white police do. They won't get away with it. That blue code stuff don't even apply to black officers like it do white officers. Black officer mess up, and he getting a book through at him. It ain't no lenience. It ain't no he get the desk job. It ain't no paid suspension. They don't do that with the black officers, and that should be a wake up call to a lot. I have a lot of black police officer friends that I went to school with. This should just be something to keep on your toes. Even if I don't, I would even say in the armed forces, just always keep that in the back of your mind. I actually have a clip that I have for another live stream where a guy was talking about the shaving your beard law in the military is a racist law because black people suffer from a condition when they gotta overshave and they get razor bumps. And I've seen that. I've seen that with some of my Nation of Islam friends when they not really supposed to have a beard and they shave a lot. We get razor bumps. I don't really I got a beard, so I get lineups and I shave, but I don't really have that problem. But I'm sure if I was shaving my face every day to keep a clean look, it'd be a problem. But he goes into a lot in that clip, and I have it saved, but I won't say that for a conversation for another day. See what you guys talking about. CDTB says they do that in Georgia for sure. These cops get fired and just go to the next county and do the same thing. It's the community. It's the community. It's a mindset that needs to be changed. CDT also says if you work in a community you love, you are less likely to terrorize the people you have to live around because now we know where you live. You're going to think twice. That's a fact. And you make the people in your community feel safer. Hey, I got a police officer that lives on my block. You gonna make the dudes think twice about doing crime on that block. The cop is gonna think twice. He gonna be cutting his grass, going to the stores in these community. Now you shopping in these communities. You're living amongst the people. It's a mutual benefit with the community and the police officers. It'll go both ways. Lee Turner says dirty overseers moving from police department to other departments and the common is happening in the South. I can imagine, man. Only imagine. Natural KRC. You got bounce. I appreciate you pulling up and hitting the like button. Always a pleasure to have you. I would love for you to come up on the panel and share your thoughts and perspectives on some of these topics. We ain't talking about baby mamas and baby hair and wigs and shit over here. That ain't even a topic of discussion over here. Is enough people to handle the baby wigs and baby mamas and the baby hairs. But I appreciate you coming. You know we locked in. EDT Beats again says hot take. I have never been disrespected by a white officer, but the black cops violate heavily. Oh man. Yeah, bro. The black cops act like they got something to prove. Here in Detroit, the police the police, I would say over the last 2 or 3 years have been getting better here in the community. But man, these black cops, bro, they're overly aggressive, overly aggressive. I have been passively aggressively disrespected by white cops because you know they love to be passive aggressive, but I haven't been just downright, get on your knees, N word. But I've been treated like a criminal by white cops just off the jump. But you police officers are people. Just like with white people and black people, you're gonna meet good people, you're gonna meet bad people. It just seems like the white cops are a little more slick with the things that they do. I don't know if there's just certain areas that's concentrated with more racist cops. I have seen police look the other way when some crazy stuff was going on, kind of like criminals dealing with criminals, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain subtle things that they would do. But the black cops are always overly aggressive. It's like they got something to prove. They gotta prove that they're not one of us, they're blue. Yeah, we could talk about that for days. Shout out to HQ Reacts. Welcome in, Auntie. How you doing? Thank you for pulling up. HQ, can somebody please drop HQ's channel link in the comments? HQ, that's my baby. I be in her chat all the time. I go on her panels all the time. She's been having great conversations about race relations and politics mainly. HQ is the politics channel. I done learned so much about different just the different depths and levels of going on in the politics. And she actually kind of helped me focus in on where I need to fall with the politics and conversations with her. When I first started talking to her on her channel, I had a different mindset about things. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm black first. I'm B1. I'm FBA. I'm very black focused when it comes to political policy. I wanted to reflect black people. I never, ever, ever give up on saying we need our reparations. That live stream coming soon. I'm already building content about that. Shout out to HQ. Thanks for coming. Shout out to Mona D. Somebody please drop Mona D's channel link as well. Mona D be cooking up, help me with a lot of my things, create my channel. Shout out to Mona D. Mona D, I'm gonna have to make you a mod. I'm gonna do that after the stream. I know how I got caught slipping. That, thank you. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, I'm glad you guys rocking with the conversation. I think I got 3 more clips. Then I'm gonna drop the link. Yeah, I think police have a fear of black people that we share with each other. A lot of black people who may grew up in the suburbs, they fear going to the hood, and the hood is a general broad statement. The hood is just an urban area. The hood don't mean you're gonna be victimized going to the hood. Like it just ain't it's not a thing like we make it a thing online or on Twitter or whatever. Let's take a break from the Media Man clips. I was investing in this restaurant. They sent me an ad. Let me know if you guys want to come here and eat. I don't know when it's gonna open up, but it's a new restaurant I've been helping develop. Let me know how y'all like
You've
it.
heard of Hooters, now get ready for Cooters.
Okay, let's go.
Instead of having waitresses with big breasts, I've gathered the biggest camel toes in the city. All of our waitresses will be circus trained and will be walking around on stilts so you can get the best view of their snatch from the comfort of your chair. And they can queef on command. We won't serve wings, only legs. And
Biggest moose knuckles in the city. They queefing on command. Shout out to Cooters. We dropping Cooters coming soon. Cooters coming soon. We're gonna have chicken strips and goose flavored lemonade. Shout out to Cooters. Jessica M, welcome in. Good to see you. Drive safe. If y'all don't know, Jessica M is a certified street racer. Blow that thing down. Blow that thing down. No, Black America. That was that was not AI. Black America is Onk. Black America is Onk, and We gotta let him know what's AI and what's not. Oh man, y'all don't like cooters? Every who don't like cooters? Everybody like cooters. One of these says, "I really thought that was a real restaurant in the city." It's coming soon. It's coming soon. We got cooters, and we doing a special thing. It's called Happy Hour for the ladies only. We having a special happy hour just for the ladies. If you come in, you get a it's a food and drink special. Then we hit you with a special sauce. Let me stop playing. Let's get back to these clips. I only got two or three more.
It's just not true, man. Violent crime, you just said, like you said, a small percentage of the country, about 12 to 13%, 50% of the violent crime. But the murder, a 12 times likelihood.
That's a skewed stat.
If you just, so you don't listen to them?
No, I said that particular stat is skewed.
It's not skewed. These are from the FBI DOJ.
Steven Crowder claimed that 13% of the population commits 50% of violent crime. That's false. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, Black Americans account for about 29% of violent crime offenders and 33% of violent crime arrests, not 50. That's roughly 1/3, not half. Crowder's number exaggerates by about 20 percentage points and usually comes from people misusing homicide arrest data, which covers only a tiny fraction of total violent crime. When you include every category, assault, robbery, sexual violence, and other offenses, the share drops dramatically.
The honest takeaway is simple. Women deserve protection from male violence, and men deserve protection from female violence, not racial profiling disguised as concern.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm trying. Yeah. And I know we're never going to agree on everything. We probably might not agree on anything. That's all right. Problem is,
but at least had a conversation.
Yeah, at least had a conversation.
There are many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there are so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a Sheol? Or should I just close the door and stay safe?
So if we want to have an honest conversation about crime, then we must have the courage to look at all of it, not just the portions that fit one group's agenda.
Yeah, that was a good clip. You got to talk about all the crime. We've been talking about statistics the whole show. Got to talk about all crime in its totality and reality, not propaganda, not speculation, and we can't fall for the racist talking points. We got to do our own research. Because at the end of the day, these are the things that's preventing us from trusting each other. These are the things that's preventing us from working together, working with each other, having that mutual respect for each other. Because we see a bunch of young dudes with a ski mask on, we think the worst. It's just, we got to have these conversations and create this understanding with each other to bridge the gaps. But shout out to Leon Turner. He blessed the cash app with the 5. Boy, I appreciate you. I'm dusty. I'm doing this shit for the love of the dust, the love of the game. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for pulling up and dropping something in the cash app for me, man. It just definitely does a lot for me to know that people rocking with me. It keeps me going. It keeps me having more ideas. I have a ton of topics I want to talk about, a ton of things I want to do with the channel. I'm ready to create. I'm building and creating my area so that we can do this thing on a higher level. Appreciate you so much, bro. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Thank you, brother Leon, brother Lee Turner. Yes, Mona D, the love of the dust. I love the dust. We gonna build this thing. It's on the ground right now, but as soon as thing be flying. Welcome in, Sheila. Let me play some drops for the brother Leon and Sheila. Sheila, this is for you. This is for you.
Yeah, I finna give it to you bitches today, yeah. Miss Dick Dad is back with another one, ho. You think I was playing with you, bitches? I got me fucked up, ho. Ho. She got that Lulu, 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 bitch, Lulu, Lulu. that Lulu. Lulu, yeah, Lulu. Lulu, yeah, Lulu. Lulu, bitch, yeah. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch, bend over. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch. Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Lulu on the butt. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck. Yeah, she growing up with her bitches getting fucked up. You got that.
She wanted 40, yeah, yeah. 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 She wanted 40. So she called me sugar daddy with the caddy. She want money, I want honey. Sugar daddy, you want money?
Don't fuck about no beef, nigga. I'm about money. Unless the beef is translating into money, then what we talking about? We too grown to be talking about some beef. Beef? Beef? Ain't no such thing as beef no more. It's calculated.
Shit, oops, I did it again. Shout out to Leon Turner, bro. I appreciate you, man. Welcome in, Sheila. Welcome in, Jay Tillman. What's the deal, my brother? Jay Tillman, welcome in. Like I said, I only got 2 more short clips, and then I'm going to drop the link. Anybody wanna pull up on me? We can have a conversation. Been doing a lot about crime statistics, but the talking the title is will black people ever trust each other? And I personally feel like crime statistics being misused is a major reason why we don't trust each other. Jay, if you can come up on a panel, Black America, anybody go Cree, anybody want to pull up and just give your experiences with how you feel about the coloreds, you know what I'm saying? Let me play these last 2 clips.
And to go a little further, there are about 23.2 million black men and boys in the United States. Even if every homicide in a given year were committed by black men, which is false, it would still represent less than 0.1% of the black male population. Among men aged 18 to 34, the demographic most associated with violence, fewer than 0.3% commit a homicide in the year. That means 99.7% do not. And within that number, those are fathers, service members, entrepreneurs, professionals, married men, and the majority rarely depicted when the narrative turns to crime. So again, violence is not racial, it is demographic. Across every ethnic group, offending rates peak among young men in their late teens and 20s. When we control for age, poverty, and neighborhood conditions, racial disparities shrink dramatically. What many people call race in these discussions is often just a proxy for exposure to disadvantage.
Yeah, Black America talked on just we can't possibly be out here deleting stuff at the rate that these people are saying. You look at the age these crimes are being committed, you can see it's so many correlations. You could bring it back to resources, impoverished neighborhoods, and just opportunity. I personally think when you plant positive seeds in the youth, that's the biggest way to change statistics long term. Long term. Shout out to Go Creek. Bless me with the 10 ball, Go Creek, and those muffins. I appreciate you, Go Creek. Thank you. Thank you. Go Creek. I'm gonna let you check out my restaurant, but first, close your eyes. Close your eyes.
You've heard of Hooters, now get ready for Cooters.
Okay, let's go.
Instead of having waitresses with big breasts, I've gathered the biggest camel toes in the city. All of our waitresses will be circus trained and will be walking around on stilts so you can get the best view of their snatch from the comfort of your chair. and they can queef on command. We won't serve wings, only legs. And
Queef on command. Queef on command. Here go your boo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I'm finna give it to you bitches today, yeah. Miss Dick Dash back with another one, hoe. You think I was playing with you bitches? I got me fucked up, hoe. Hoe. She got that Lulu. Lulu, bitch, Lulu, bitch, Lulu, shot that Lulu, yeah, Lulu, yeah, Lulu, bitch, yeah. She got.
She got that Lulu. I don't know why she got a baton with the bottle on her head. But she thick. She ain't thick for nothing. Shout out to Derek Gaines. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. You found Cree, Derek. You found your love interest. But again, appreciate you, Go Cree. Thank you. Chelsea just dropped your link. Make sure everybody sub to Go Cree. Can't wait till Sunday show. As you already know, I've been sending sending you crazy videos. Appreciate you, Go Cree, my baby. Locked in. But yeah, those were my clips for Media Man. He was dropping some knowledge on us, dropping some statistics on us, and just painting a more realistic picture of what the criminality aspects of the black community really is, and not what the propaganda wants us to believe that it is. I think that black people don't trust each other heavily because we look at each other like criminals. Rather, I'm a firm believer of a lot of black people have a negative experience with black people growing up, PTSD from growing up around black people in the hood. A lot of us started off poor. The new generations are coming up a lot more middle class. But a lot of us, I'm a 90s baby, a lot of the 80s babies, we kind of came up we all started in impoverished neighborhoods. And that creates a fear and anxiety, a stigma, a stereotype for our own community. Trauma is trauma. And we see our people as a certain thing because of that small minority of what we grew up around. And then we think that everybody that we meet that's not like that as an exception to the rule, and they're not like that. It's the same anti-black talking points of, oh, you're one of the good ones. And a lot of our people look at each other like, oh, I'm one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones. We're not like the others. We're not niggas. We're black. We're not the niggas. And that's a problematic way to think about our community because I'm a firm believer in we are each other. I love my people. I love myself. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I love the good and the bad and the indifferent about myself. Understand that I'm nuanced. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've done things I'm not proud of. I learned my lessons and I stand on my life. And I know that other people have those same experiences. No one's perfect. I got a pathetic outlook on my people. What you say, Jay Tillman? That's what the people say. I don't trust everybody just because they look like me. Yeah, bro, but the thing is not to trust nobody the same way. It ain't about having a more of a distrust. Yeah, you can say, oh, I only had black people taught me, or I've only been a victim of crime from a black person. But Media Man, some of the videos I was playing earlier in the show, Media Man was breaking down how crime is interracial. It's not a black on black thing. It's a community thing and where you at. You know what I'm saying? If you would have grew up in your same money category, wherever, however, if you were impoverished growing up, if you were struggling growing up, there are white people who grow up with that same type of struggle. And if you would have grew up in those neighborhoods, you would have be a victim of the same crime that they're a victim of. Because having the ideology that only broke black people are the ones committing crimes, or them the only ones that's gonna commit crime to me, white people not gonna do it to me, that's saying white people don't commit those crimes. There are places, plenty of places, where the same crimes that go on in black neighborhoods go on in white neighborhoods. And you will be a victim of crime from a white person if you grew up in those same impoverished white neighborhoods. You would not be special, and you would not be walking around like Jesus, never having a bad experience if you would have just grew up in the same way you grew up around black people as white people. You, I'm a firm believer in that. Jay Tillman says, I don't trust them either. I don't trust nobody unless you give me a reason to trust you. But I don't also, I, I have my guard up with everybody, black, white, Asian, whoever. Sometimes that guard can be a different thing. Sometimes I might be looking at white people more in a way of they're going to try to manipulate me, or they're going to think I'm dumb and misjudge me, and kind of look out for certain things with certain people. If I'm in a trailer park, I'm gonna be looking at these white people like they're gonna rob me, just like if I'm in the projects, because it will happen. And you can't think that you're only going to get robbed in the hood or the projects. You will get robbed in those trailer parks. I know trailer park whites that will rob you to go buy some meth or some crack or some heroin, or to take care of their family. Like, this is not a then there's white people that grow up in the hood that do the same shit that the other people in their hood is doing, or and be even worse. Those white people that grow up in black communities, they don't just grow up peaceful and not doing nothing and trying to be an upright citizen just because they're white and they're around blacks. They're gonna be involved in the same shit. Just like if you black and you grow up around the suburban middle class white people, you not gonna unless you trying to go be something that you're not gonna grow up robbing people and stealing rims if you living in a middle class neighborhood with a bunch of families and homeowners and you going to a good school. It's about your community, your environment, and your level of poverty. It's not about race. Jay Walker says, I was raised around all races committing crimes. Thank you. Detroit is a very black city. But on the outskirts is a bunch of poor white cities. There's trailer parks everywhere. You could literally walk 3 minutes outside of Detroit into a trailer park. The first time I ever seen people on a bike running from the cops was three white people when I was living in a kind of like a poor white city. It was like, it was like Detroit. It was middle class areas, there's poor areas. I was kind of in the higher low class area, and these white people been robbing all the 7-Elevens and Family Dollars, and they was getting chased on some Harleys, and they had girls on the back of their Harleys, and they was running from the cops. I'm just coming from work, and these motherfuckers almost ran into my pickup truck, trying to get away from the police, swerving in and out of traffic. I had never seen a police chase with motorcycles before, and it was like two or three Harleys with dudes on them and girls on the back of each of them, dipping from the cops. That's not a black. Is crime is just not a black thing. Welcome in, Jessica. You make it safely. You made it to your destination safely. I know you was out here street racing. Hope you made some money on the drag strip. ACMO, Midtown, multiracial schools, all committed to crimes. Thanks. Thanks. We used to go to these high schools when we was in high school. One thing I did a lot was skip school and go to other people's schools. And we'd go to the suburban schools and just kick it. We'd be sneaking on property, doing some dumb shit. And them white boys was in there, they couldn't wait. They could not wait to go do some dumb nigga shit. They was doing more ninja shit than we was doing. They shooting dice and smoking weed, and it's not a not a black thing. You just gotta have more experiences. You just gotta put yourself, I was blessed to be able to see a lot of different aspects of the community, impoverished community. Seen white broke people, I seen black broke people, I see a lot of Arabic broke people. We have a high presence of Arabic community. Coop was talking about Hamtramck earlier. Hamtramck got a lot of business owners, but this is an impoverished city inside of Detroit full of Arabic people. They running around that motherfucker committing crime. I live near Dearborn. Dearborn is a heavy Arabic community. These mother suckers was the ones that people was taking their guns to get fully auto mods done to their guns. They was the ones buying up or selling a whole bunch of drugs and weed. Like everybody is in crime to the same level and degree. White people, black people, Arabic people, Asian people. When you go to China, you go to Chicago, they got the little Chinatown. It's it's all it's a poverty thing. Jay Tillman says, why you talking about others if we supposed to be talking about us? Talking about other people because we're talking about trusting each other. I think that a lot of the distrust comes from fear, but that same fear is not applied across the whole board. And I think a major reason that we fear ourselves is because we fall for the propaganda. A lot of the clips I played for Media Man was to disprove a lot of that propaganda because we don't need to fear each other and fear the hood like we do. It's a broke people commit crime. Broke people do criminal shit. It's not just a black people thing. So you don't, and everybody in the hood is not committing crimes. You don't have to walk around. Uh, you don't have to walk around fearing people in neighborhoods or that where they had a certain way or got a certain type of look to them because that's propaganda. Go Creek, Dearborn is very white. It's a very they actually are in the news a lot for disappropriating disproportionate amount of arrest on black people. Dearborn is a long history. Like growing up, we was told not to drive through Dearborn because there's been a long history of them. They will catch you driving while black, and they will stretch you out, and they might beat your ass. Project Leroy says it's not a poverty thing; it's crime by proximity. Exactly. It's community is where you at. It's neighborhood you at. Just think that crime is higher for violent crimes in impoverished neighborhoods. But yes, rich people commit crime too. Everybody, we just seen a bunch of rich people get, Chauncey Billups and the mafia. Them are rich people committing crime, getting locked up. That's why I bring the crime of a whole over all across the board into the room because it's not about we just are a violent criminal people. So it's like if we could dispel that propaganda that we're the violent criminal race, we can trust each other more. We can build with each other more. We can work with each other more. Thing about so Peasy is a Detroit rapper. He pretty much known. He got a lot of, I don't know, you guys don't really listen to rap. I do, and Detroit music is like a big staple in current hip hop, current rap. Easy said he doesn't hire black people because he gonna think they robbed him, gonna rob him. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. I really want to play his video. I just forgot to load it up. I'm dusty, but I don't. I'm a firm believer in hiring black people. Moved to my house a couple months ago. I had a homeboy that I used to work with. We was down bad working minimum wage jobs together. He now owns his own moving company. He moved me. My mom's about to move. He's moving my mom. He was very professional. He was early. He prides himself on being at least 15, 20 minutes early. He was moving quickly, so he wasn't just trying to run up the clock on me. He actually had a white helper, like, a little white dude that looked like he probably, he needed the job type of situation that he had helping with him, that he was kind of teaching him and training him. Like it felt good to see that because you don't always see that in the narrative, in the agenda. You do not see that dynamic. It's usually reversed. But shout out to my boy for moving me in and moving my mom's in. He was perfect, perfect move. He was quick. He was thorough. I needed some stuff moved out. He did it quickly. He had all the tools he needed. He got me together in one trip. He made sure he was quick, so he didn't just like I said, run the clock up on me. He got plenty of great reviews. He got customers from black people, white people stores. He do a lot of corporate moves, and having that ideology of being scared and not trusting black people, I wouldn't have hired him. I would have, oh, he gonna try to run it up on me. He gonna try to take 3, 4, 5 hours. He might steal some of my stuff. He might steal a pair of shoes. And I know that there's black people who think like that, and it's horrible. I be on the road a lot, so I don't always cut my grass. I always had landscapers for the last 3 years, always black. I got a young brother that's black right now. He take care of my grass, and I even have him do more things that I would do because it's just giving him an opportunity. I like having black businesses help me out. Need to hire people. I got black brothers that's plumbers. Need a plumber, that's what I'm gonna call. I got black contractors, black roofers. If I can meet somebody that's doing that, I'm gonna do that because the narrative of black people are gonna do something negative and you should just hire the Mexicans or hire the white people. That's bullshit. And yeah, there are bad service from all communities. So if I get bad service from a black person, I'm not going to say I'm not dealing with black people because they do this. That I just had a bad experience, but I won't judge my people in a way that I don't trust them, so I'm not going to hire them. That's just a terrible that stems from self hate to me. That's a degree of self hate to me. Black America says the only rapper from Detroit is M. We not about to have an Eminem discussion, man. Cause y'all, we gonna go all day on. Eminem is not from Detroit. Eminem is from Warren. Eminem is from the same city that I just said seen the police chase in. It's Warren, Michigan. I used to live in Warren, Michigan. To white people that will rob you. I've been near those trailer parks that M grew up in Warren. We don't have trailer parks in Detroit. Eminem is from the trailer, but it's literally you walk across 8 Mile. That's why the movie is called 8 Mile because 8 Mile is a long street that divides Detroit from the white suburbs. A lot of the east suburbs like Warren, Roseville, East Point, those are those same kind of communities. So, give you a little lore, a little Detroit lore. The movie is called 8 Mile. You have to cross 8 Mile to get into Detroit or the suburbs. Eminem grew up across the street from 8 Mile, but you can literally you just walk across the street, now you in Detroit. See, I'm giving bad information. I'm about to drop the link then. Let me know what I'm giving bad. They tell me says I think like that about anyone that comes to do work on my property. I get you, but I go out my way to hire black people. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea says something. Here we go. Went to a predominantly white school. My class, a kid get chased by an officer, but my black friend wasn't doing that. Man, yeah, it's good people and it's bad people. Some people gonna be criminals, some people ain't. Not a race thing. Chelsea also says my cousin got his plumbing hours for his license working for a black plumbing business. So shout out to them. Shout out to Cuz. Shout out to cousin Pumpkin Spice. Let me this link for you guys if you want to come up. We can have this conversation. Topic is will black people trust each other? I trust black people. I'm more comfortable with black people doing my landscaping, with black people doing my moves, with what I'm saying. I like to get opportunities because we should circulate the black dollar amongst ourselves more. So when I do that, I feel good about circulating my black dollar, spending my money with other black people that's taking care of their families. That it hit differently than just giving my money to people outside my community all the time. And I do think that that's something that we should work on and have in mind. All our money should not always go out of our community because that's what builds community wealth. Is spending with the community. Black America, I know you're gonna say there is no black community. I don't agree with you on that. America, what's the deal?
What's going on? Hey, y'all in the chat, do not listen to this boy. He gonna get you
Oh
fucked
my
off.
God.
Don't. You can't trust no niggas. You can't go to nobody's neighborhood and be safe.
All right, hold on.
Fuck
Just
you
hold on.
talking
Hold
about?
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. Before you even go, I want to say shout out to Sheila and shout out to Jay Walker coming through in the Cash App. Shout out to both you ladies. I appreciate you. Sorry if I'm slow on the draw. I got to check my other phone. Just check my other phone. Appreciate you, Sheila. I appreciate you, Jay Walker. I got something special for both of y'all. That's show my appreciation. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Black America, go ahead, bro. Go, get off, go off.
I just, I just think you're giving bad information.
What
Like
up, Jay?
you talking about not trusting people. If Jay and you came to Vegas and you guys went somewhere, I would be afraid for your lives because if you came to LA with me, I would be afraid. I'm talking about LA. I'm not talking about San Bernardino. I'm not talking about Riverside. Nigga,
But it go.
nigga, I'm talking about LA.
You talk about Compton, Watts. I get you.
I'm talking about South Central. I'm talking about 35th and Normandy. I'm talking about LA. I would be scared for your lives because you wouldn't know that once you pass Jefferson, you in a blood neighborhood. Nigga, you can't even go to the store over there. Like,
Let me
so
let me
yes,
let me
don't
challenge
don't
this. Let me challenge you with this. And welcome in, Jay. Thanks for pulling up, both you guys. If I'll go, okay. This is my greater point. Those guys that's gang banging, criminals, right? We could just say people that's gang banging and running the section, they running a section over there. Those would be considered criminals doing criminal gang activity in the neighborhood. Me
mhm.
as a civilian, what would I be doing that would get me caught up in criminality or gang caught? Just
uh
living my
wearing the
life.
wearing the wrong color,
Hmm.
driving a nice car, drive having if it's some niggas that's starving, having on a watch or chains, anything like that. If you got on a hat with a W, you got on a hat with a D. You got everything is a gang banging symbol in L. So first of all, everything is a gang banging symbol in LA, right? And nigga, if you got white shoestrings in your tennis shoes with a red or blue tennis shoe, oh okay, that somebody is going to hit you up. And
Is
if
that a reason to not trust black people or not trust criminals?
that is no, that is nigga shit.
Do do I have to have the same type of mindset going into Mexican gang area?
No, you don't.
But so Mexicans don't gang bang the same.
Yes, Mexicans do gang bang, but it's not the same.
So they don't press you for colors and set. What up, HQ? Welcome in, Auntie. How you doing? How you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. How's this discussion
H
going?
HQ done came up. No, so
HQ done
yes,
bless me.
eh, Mexicans are more family oriented, right? N- A lot of these niggas do savagery. They're just savages.
But
I
see,
I
that's
grew up I grew up
propaganda.
in that culture.
Me
I
too.
grew up in that culture, Jay.
I,
I
I
mean,
can't.
Ty.
I can't. I've seen Mexican gangbangers be on some bullshit. Like That you
Yes,
can't
but
you
niggas are
that's self
always with the shit though.
that look, oh my I can't even I gotta dance this song. You cannot sit here and you just black people are savages, but the Mexican gangs are peaceful. Like
I
the
didn't say
Mexican
that.
gangs are
I did not say that.
so
What I
they
said
not gonna
is
press me.
no, they won't press you. What I'm telling you is niggas are always on that shit.
So
Always.
is this
From the
a
word go.
is this
Ty, when you went out, when you was a young man, let me explain
mhm,
to you what happened when I went out. When I went out as a young man and I went to a club or anything like that, we used to wear either something called B boots or we used to wear half boot shoes. You know
mhm.
what those are, right? And those
Like steel toe type boots?
yes.
Hmm.
And that's for the every
Yeah,
weekend.
something. Okay, so let me first of all,
Exactly.
the time period that you're talking about is a more violent time period than now. It's not the same outside like it was then. Understand that. That's like when back in the Warriors era, everybody was running around stabbing people, and it's a different time. And I get what you're saying because even when I was younger, we used to be on bullshit. I used to always have a bat. Always
There
had a
you
wooden
go.
bat.
So then why are you trying to cape for niggas like they niggas ain't doing nigga shit?
But even at that time, if I go to the same neighborhoods I grew up on, they not on that same type of shit that they was when I was growing up. In the 90s or the early 2000s is not the same as in 2025. And these are still not reasons to not trust black people. This is reasons not to trust criminals doing criminal bullshit. Yeah, and growing up in impoverished neighborhoods, you do dumb impoverished criminal shit because you don't have no ideology of anything else but what you know and what you see, and everybody is repeating the same bullshit. But there, I'm not gonna say that there is not crime and gang bangers and bullshit in the hood, but there is not major majority of that going on in the hood, and it's not a reason to look at all black people from the hood like that.
We came from a different generation,
You
black
you get
America.
your gooch phone together, Jay. Tell me.
Can you hear me?
Uh
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah, we hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
I understand, but you guys have to understand that I'm still outside. I'm a biker.
Mm.
I wear a cup. I am in every city, in everybody's set, on a bike, on ground, my boots on the ground. I know that people are still out here. A couple of weeks ago, two dudes got into a fight, and then we break the fight up. We standing there talking to the guy. He come back and shoot him. I'm like 3 feet away from him. You guys, you guys don't. You're not in the hoods, so you
I,
don't know.
I live in the hood, bro. I live in a nicer
You
part of the hood, but when
yeah.
I go
So
to the liquor store, when I go to the
are you where they're gangbangers at?
like I said, we don't really have like every neighborhood is what you would call a gang. We don't call them gangs here. We never really use the terminology gangs, but
Neighborhood
yes,
sets.
exactly. So West Warren is a dangerous neighborhood. You could Google West Warren. I'm in the West Warren area. That's a street, not the city trash ass Eminem grew up in, but the street Warren. East Warren is even worse, and I drive and I have to commute through this neighborhood every day to get back and forth to work.
Okay,
So
so those people know who you are, right? They seen you.
this
You've been
this not
around there
some
for
this not
what?
somewhere I grew up at though. This is not a
No,
neighborhood
but I'm saying those people know who you are, right?
to an extent, but I'm new over here. I've only been over here not even 6 months. This ain't my hood. You know what I'm saying?
But
I
I
do
mean, you
have
said
hoods where the
you done been to the corner store and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You done
yeah,
seen
yeah. I
some dudes out
frequent
there.
yeah,
They've been buying
yeah,
Philly blunts. You done ran across. So
yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
I come to the city first day from the West Coast. You can already tell that I'm from the West Coast. Y'all know that I'm not from there. Anytime I go
Mhm.
to the Midwest, to the South, all of the women say, "Ooh, fresh meat." You know what I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. So now the niggas see me, they say, "Oh, he not from here. Oh, he got on some fresh kicks. Let's see what's in his." Is it a difference from them interacting with you than it is them interacting with me?
It's oh, you will have to
That's just a
go
yes or
to
no.
that.
That's just a
Yeah,
yes or no question, bro.
is really not because if you go to where if you pull up to where I'm pulling up at is no problems because you just doing what you doing, you minding your own business. Now if you go in the hood looking for drugs or you know what I'm saying, you actually in the meat.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm
See,
talking
my
about. If
But
you're
that's
if
in the
you
can
hood,
I pivot on
if
this?
you come in the hood and you
go
just
ahead, Jay,
mind
because
your
he don't
business,
understand what I'm saying.
if you
Can I
come in the
pivot on this to
let
find
me
some
let me
middle ground between both of y'all?
yeah. But let me just say this one thing. If you
Off.
come in the hood and you going to the liquor store, you going to the gas station, you just doing what you're doing. I don't recommend going to the gas station after 1 in the morning. Nowhere in Detroit. But if you going, if you and it ain't gonna be just black people that carjack you. But if you minding your business, you minding your business. You're not going you can come here, have a safe trip, get the fuck on. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, bro.
We all know that good people is going to do good, bad people is going to do bad. It's not inherent to no skin color or no social, economic, nothing. There's poor black people all over the country that don't commit crime and never have. So that's, I mean, we all know these things. But what when I read the title, will black people ever trust each other? I can't see the whole thing, so I didn't quote it directly, but something like that is like, it's not the point that we don't trust each other. It's just you know through your own personal experience. This is not trauma, not trauma. It's through your own personal experience. If you go to certain areas with certain black people, those black people gonna do those black people things that they do.
Okay, so my
Regardless, it
I would
don't matter if they know you. It don't matter if they don't know you. The MLK in Buffalo, you could look it up online. When MLK Day at MLK Park, when they had during Juneteenth, they was up there fighting. They did it on purpose. You could go on social media and look. They went up there on purpose to fight each other because that's those people, man. And when you say are we going to trust each other, it's not all of
Thank
us,
you, Jay.
bro. It's
Thank you,
not
Jay.
all of us, but we
It's
know
just the
who the
niggas.
problem is.
It's the
okay,
niggas.
We
so
all
let
know
me
who the problem is, Ty. You know who the problem is, Ty. We
I
know
and
who the problem is, so I'm not gonna trust those people. If you act like you are those people, I'm gonna put you in the those people category. Just like when any other demographic of people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, act like a certain demographic of whatever, I'm gonna put them in that category.
and that's fair, and I agree with you with that. You said a lot, and I want to let me preface what I mean by trust each other, right? So yes, it's the going into the hood and having a fear. That's why I put fear thyself because I feel like we're fearing us. We're fearing our own people.
No, it's not a
And
people.
I
I'm
hold
not
on, hold
fearing
on.
because their skin is black.
Okay, so let me just say this. I feel like we don't trust each other because of like I gave the situation with the rapper saying he don't hire black people. We do hear a stigma of not doing business with other black people and a fear of going to certain black neighborhoods and black areas. I get what Black America's saying about LA because it is a different culture, like Project Leroy just pointed out there. But I don't have a fear. So here I'm gonna give an anecdotal experience. Fights and bullshit gonna break out anywhere, right? That's just a part of drunk people being on drunk dumb bullshit. I've been in
True.
so many bar fights. Most of my bar fights has been at white clubs and in white areas. I done got into it with white bodyguards. And been kicked out of clubs. I got into a fight with some white people. Had a beer bottle thrown at me. All type of like I had to run for 2, 3 summers of just it used to be fun because you know it's no bullshit. You get drunk, you fight, you go home, and that wasn't a black thing. And yes, black shit happen. People parties get shot up, shit happens, but that's the environment. Is not regulated to just black people. And I do want to say, if I go to a black party in a neighborhood that I don't be at, because Detroit is a big enough place where there's a lot of places that don't know people. I am blessed to know a lot of people in my city, but you know, I don't know a lot of these new people, these young people, these early 20s and all of that. I don't know those people. I know people in my age group. If I go to a black block party on the east side, nobody's gonna know me over there. You know what I'm saying? And I could go like I was last summer, pull up, my boy called me, hey, we just found this block party that these bikers having. Pull up, hundreds of black people. Everything was outside. They cooking. It's bikers. It's in the hood. It's in the middle of the trenches. It's in the middle of the trenches. Bitches outside dancing. It's some hood shit.
See, the fact you arguing
Then,
from a point of the trenches, bro.
because that's what we call it. You feel me? I'm.
I
That's
know,
just
but
how.
Ty, it's
Yeah.
hard.
That's
It's hard to hear what you're trying to say when you say they in the trenches. Why are there trenches? Why
we've
am I
been
going to
calling
trust a
it that.
place called the trenches, bro?
So let me say my point, because it's called the trenches because it's a whole lot of reasons why it's the
We
trenches,
know
but
those. I'm
it's the
hood adjacent, man.
projects, it's the
I know those
hood,
reasons too, Ty. I know
we the
those reasons.
ghetto, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it. Like when I was in Buffalo, that was a white area. I would refer to it as the trenches because it just looked like it, but them was all white people. It was all white people in that
Yeah,
area
you was probably
and
in
some.
Cheektowaga or Tonawanda or something like
I was
that.
in like Lake Wanda or something. I was real close
Lackawanna,
to the.
yeah,
Yep.
you was out there.
Yep.
That's
It's
not
what is that?
that's like where Eminem grew up.
And
Is that
guess
a
what?
poor area, Jay?
It's a
Is that a
poor
poor area,
area.
Jay?
It's all middle and lower middle class.
And guess what? When I went to work on my
Why
second day, hold on,
why
it's
you around
white
all these poor people, nigga?
because I was out there for a job. I was out there training on
Oh,
my flatbed shit. So and it's
okay.
right near the
Good
Canadian
shit.
Bridge. So yeah, so the depot where I was working at, when I pulled up, they 6 cars, 6 pickup trucks got broken into, and they looked on the camera. I was there. My the guy that was training me had to kind of, he's in charge of the fleet, so him and the managers and all that was looking at the tapes. And since I'm training, they like, just I'm just following them along. The police is there. They doing their thing. They look at the camera. A bunch of fucking white motherfuckers then broke into all these people
Yeah,
cars,
that's
ripped
that's
all
them
that shit
dope
off.
fiends looking for stuff to sell, stealing
Right.
catalytic converters and
Right.
all that stuff.
So I would refer to that area as the trenches. So that's when I say that it's just a poor neighborhood, right? But I'm in this block party with a bunch of motherfuckers I don't know, and it's a good time. And it's niggas I don't know. Hey, what up, bro? Hey, we got a bottle that I don't drink after nobody off some shit that I ain't open, but that's just me just being
Ty, Ty.
responsible.
So
But
so I'm let me explain that. We have
welcome in,
rules.
mailbox.
We have rules, Ty.
Hmm?
And if you break the rules, there's a penalty, right? So it's best, like everybody for the most part is going to be on their best behavior to not get into trouble, like fight with the other. Because, nigga, it's bike sets that's been fighting against each other for 20, 30 years. So, with that being said, it's best if you're at a function like that for nothing to happen, because then it goes over you. It goes to the president, and then it goes to the national presidents and things like that. So yes, we have a chain of command set up that if you don't want to get sanctioned, you know what I mean? You don't want to get kicked out your club. You don't want to get sanctioned. You don't want to get your cut stripped. All of these things. So when you go to these places, yes, the niggas are going to act a little bit better
But that
because
that
they
was
have
a
to, else
that was a
or else they lose their life.
that was a that was a experience there, but that was just the last time I was actually like outside in the hood and on some partying type of stuff. But it's plenty like we do a lot of block parties, bro, and I could just pull up. I might know one or two people there, and it usually be
Can't do
cool.
that
And you
shit in
might see
LA.
some,
Oh, okay. Let me.
and I
Can
believe
I
you
break
on
it
that.
down to the culture then? If you ask it to address the main topic.
Mm.
What's up? What's up, Postman? What's up, Janessa?
What up,
The
though?
in our culture, amongst us, if you're a prominent person going to another city for something, what do you have to do?
They check in culture, yeah.
A check-in. Why?
So people know who you are, and you won't get, get
So
hit
that
by
so
the
that
Jack
the
Boys.
yeah, so that the word goes out, so they know that you're there, so that they know not to mess with you, depending on
But
who you
that's a
are.
but that's an underground criminality thing. Like me,
Yes,
I go to
that's why I
Vegas.
wouldn't. That's why. Okay, so I'm a prominent person. Why would I think I have to check in somewhere so
And
that
that's
people don't,
because
so I don't get
if you a
robbed?
prominent person of that culture, that's usually a rapper. That's somebody who's already tied in to that scene, right?
But
We
listen to what
again
I'm saying,
talking
Ty.
to.
If I could if I could trust us, I wouldn't have to do that.
So I travel to California every single year dolo. Yes, I be in Riverside County in San Bernardino, but
They
I
don't know
still
who
start
Ty
off.
Pro is.
But I'm just saying I still start off, and my name ring bells nationwide, man. Still start off
All the
in
lot
LA.
lizards.
I
Lot
do
lizards
my
scream his name a lot.
I do my
Lot lizards.
it's I just wanna so again, will black people trust each other? We're not all criminals. And
And
yes, the
also,
criminal element is dangerous. But everywhere you go around niggas ain't dangerous. Everywhere you go in the hood
but
ain't
there's
dangerous.
always the potential to be dangerous. That's what
But
I'm
it's
trying
that
to say.
potential anywhere though. And
No, it's not
like
anywhere. No, it's not anywhere, bro. I've traveled. See, I've traveled the world, right? I've been to a
hey,
lot of different places and places that was impoverished, and it wasn't a lot of violence going on around the area, and people took care of
so
their stuff.
so in
When
these
I go,
Latin
and I'll get anecdotal, when I go back to Buffalo in the area that I was raised in the neighborhoods around me, certain streets where people used to own, they take care of their property. But once people move in and start renting, the property value goes down
They
because
go
those people
downhill.
don't take care of their stuff. And you know who those people are. They're doing
The
all
niggas.
kinds of nonsense out of their house. So when my parents had two houses back to back, the house next to them, they was renting. Matter of fact, screw that. 227. That the house that my father eventually bought, the people that was renting that, they was running drugs out of the house. Instead of putting their garbage out on the curb, they was storing it in the garage for some reason. The bedrooms had locks, deadbolt locks on on from the inside of the doors. So they didn't even trust the people they was living with. It's small things like that. And if you want to call it trauma, I'll even concede to that if you want to call it trauma. But it's certain patterns I see, there's certain people that within our community, I don't care about other people's community because I wasn't a part of those communities. I'm in a different community now. That's just what it just is what it is. But when I was in those communities, that's what it was. And you knew not
let,
to go down certain streets,
let me ask you
just
this.
like the D. You don't
Let
go
me
down
ask you
certain
this.
streets if you're not from there.
Let me ask you this. Um, I haven't really traveled outside the country, but let's say those places that the passport bros go to, maybe in South America, the Caribbean, the
Yeah.
Mexico.
And the
Are
potential for them
these
to get got is still there, but it's still not the same.
It's not
they're
the
not the
same, bro.
same?
It's not, and that's what I'm telling you about them. You talking about the Mexican gangs? Yeah, the Mexican gangs is going to say, hey, compa, ¿qué pasó? They gonna be like, what's up? You okay? You okay? You been? And you be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just doing this, that, and the other. And then you get to pass on. You come to my hood, I'm gonna be like, nigga, where you from, cuz? If you can't give me a good answer, what you're doing there, you probably not gonna make it out too good. You feel
That's why
me?
you should
Oh,
listen to Kendrick
oh,
Lamar.
nigga, Kendrick Lamar is garbage. That shit is whack.
He telling that same story though, bro. You if you really sat down and listen, you want me to listen to
I,
8 tracks
I,
of rappers. You
I
gotta
try.
listen to
I tried to listen. I'm telling you, I tried to listen to him. I just don't. I just don't like his music. I don't know. I just don't like his music. But I. But I'm telling you, it's just a difference, Ty. And I understand you pro black, so to
Heavy.
you want to be able. You don't want to throw any of the nigga shit or any of the niggas away. And I'm telling
Mm-mm.
you,
it's I
don't
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 mind
try
throwing
to
the
save these
criminals
niggas.
away. I don't mind
It's
having a pre-judgment
Ty.
on
That's not
criminals,
true. That's
but
You a
not
I
true,
hoarder.
do
You
Ty,
a
because
hoarder,
you're
Typo.
saying
You
if
want to hold on
niggas
to
are
all of
doing
them.
shit, you want to give them a chance. You can't give
yeah,
a snake a
because
chance twice to
people
bite you.
want to I don't want to lynch people in the street because people change, people grow, and people mature, and people get opportunity and understanding to be different people. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
think that
that time that they have to change, how much stuff are they doing that's going to affect other people negatively before they change? The people that they
Exactly.
affect don't care that they're going to
Exactly.
eventually change. If you affecting them
Right.
negatively right now, I don't care if you have the opportunity to change in the future.
It-
You're making
right. If
my
you
life
somebody
worse.
that's right, if you somebody that's kicking those and you kick my mama though, nigga, it you know what? You can change as you watch each person that you know get hurt. By
It's
then
just
it's too late.
I'm not
You
saying
see what I
everybody
mean?
like that, Ty. But when
And
we
and and
like when we
and
constantly see
everybody's
videos, man,
right. We
up
constantly seeing
self
videos of
uploaded, self
right
uploaded. There, it's
doing
this
nigga
is
shit.
not white America uploading videos of stuff. It's that dry snitching these guys is doing and girls is out here doing nonsense
Telling on themselves.
just because they want you to see what they getting up to. Ain't nobody like
Right.
them. Ain't
Telling
nobody
on
getting
themselves.
down like this. We see this, man. That's a part of our it's within a subculture of us predominantly because I've
and
looked online and the different chaotic things that like our what the white population is doing is not the same as us. Some things are specific to
No.
us,
And, and you guys keep saying, "Oh, what about
and
this
things are
and what
specific
about
to
that?"
them.
It's not the same. Living in a trailer park versus living in the bricks or projects or however you guys might call them wherever you from. Living in a trailer
breaks.
park besides living in the ghetto is two different forms of low budget living. Niggas in the projects, yeah, they might be selling dope and got a big screen on the wall, but they got somebody sitting on the couch smoking crack or meth right by the goddamn kids. In the trailer
Mhm.
park, I'm familiar with trailer parks. They all go to one fucking thing and they're all getting high in there and then they running around like a chickens with head cut off. It's just two different ways of doing shit. It might all be bad, but I'm telling you, nothing is like the ghetto shit that black people do. It's
And
extreme to me, bro.
yeah, PL, they do not define us. We know the difference, right? But on a global stage, when people are looking at us, even black people outside of the country, they look down on us for the things that they see, and we can't justify it because it's just there. It's in your face. It's
Let me say
seen.
this. Let me say this. Propaganda has been a tool used to
It's
paint the
not
worst of.
propaganda
Hold
though,
on.
Todd.
It
It's
it
not
is. Just let me
propaganda.
finish. What up, Derek? Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Let me say this.
What's up, brothers?
Even before social media, that image was always the prominent image of black people. And back in when the black exploitation films and showing pimps and doing this and doing that. Salute to Stephen James. Welcome in, brother. I don't think that it's a small minority of people. The criminal aspect of black people in America is a small minority, even in the hoods, and that's my ultimate point. Of course, you should not trust criminals. I don't expect anybody to pull up in the hood with the gang bangers and be like, "Hey, how y'all doing? Let me tell y'all about Jesus," or nothing like just popping out with Rolexes and iced out chains. Like in the impoverished, criminal, crime heavy neighborhoods, yes, there is a risk to it. And sure, I would even give y'all that black people in the criminal underworld do shit differently. I
No,
don't.
no, no, no. Can't let you say that. It's not the criminal underworld. I'm talking
It's
about
the
regular
criminal.
people too do criminal things.
But we conflate ghetto and criminal things as the same. You look
No,
at
that's why I said in the very
you
beginning before I spoke, I said there are poor black people who don't commit any crime at all. I said that in the beginning when I
so
first got
that's
on the
what
panel.
so that's what I'm saying. They don't really so that's what I'm saying. It's a small you don't have to when you go into in Detroit, there is a small population of people committing crimes. Every young person ain't a YN, and everybody on the block chilling and minding their business and drinking on the porch ain't gang, and they ain't about to check you or press you or any of this type of
Yeah,
stuff. And
that's the
that's
lowest part of it. But there's
but
also a part of crime of opportunity. There's a lot of people, and it's not just us. I'm just saying, we talking about us right now, so that's why I'm talking about us right now. There's a lot of people that will commit crimes of opportunity, whereas in any other case, they really wouldn't do something like that. Just
hold
just
that
like if
point.
a store is getting raided, it like bust up. You know, when they bust up in the store like 25 people at a time, and start grabbing stuff. There might be somebody there that normally wouldn't go in the store and rob, but because other people around them are doing it, they're going to do it. And I see a lot of videos about that of
I
us
hear you. I see
filming
them too.
ourselves.
I want to pause that because we gonna chop that up. But first, Derek Gaines, Jay Walker, welcome in. Jay Walker, thank you. Blessing me. I got something for you special. Got a gift for you. Just close your eyes. Welcome in, Derek. Let me get Derek, go ahead, because I know you came in with something, and then Jay Walker. Then we'll get back to what you were saying, Jay, because got agree with you to an extent.
Being from Cincinnati, man,
What's up,
there's
G
just
Gangs?
parts of
What's
the
the deal,
city.
legend?
There's just parts of the city I don't go,
He
and
probably getting his
I
moonshine.
know
Can you?
not to
Can I
go
hear
there.
y'all? Can't hear you. I gotta go out and come back in. But go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, it's just parts of this city I don't go in. It's crazy because I'm gonna move in a couple of months, and I'm thinking about what time shall I move because I don't want people to see what I got when I'm moving. It's most likely I'll be moving in the hood somewhere, and I'm thinking about all right, what time am I gonna make this move? Is it gonna be late? Is it gonna be early? And you just got to be aware. It's just some. I don't go. I'm close to Chicago. I want to go to Chicago because I want to go to Wrigley Field. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. But with everything going on in Chicago, I'm going to wear red. I already know that's a bad sign. I'm just going to a ball game. Going to the ball game. I probably hop back on the train and come back to Cincinnati. I'm afraid to do that because I don't want to run into the wrong people. I don't want to make the wrong turn. I don't, I'm not. I've never been to Chicago. Never been to Detroit, and it's not propaganda. Propaganda is um, a lie that that the people in power make up to discredit uh, what they feel is lower than them. What Jay and Black America are talking, that's factual. There's this a certain set of people, group of people in our community that we look out for no matter where we go. To the gas station. Somebody mentioned not going to the gas station at 1 in the morning. We have a gas station here that's in the hood, and it's something always going down there. It's only one gas station, and it's always um, somebody getting pew pewed or cut or something going on right there.
Hold
And
on, Derek.
I
Hold
know,
on, Derek. Derek, let me say this one
mhm,
thing. If you guys ever come to Vegas, all of our gas stations are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We don't have
mm,
these fucking problems. You see what I mean? I don't worry. I don't
yeah,
worry about coming out the casino at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning or getting gas or anything. You know why? Because we don't have these problems. And I apologize, but you just brought up the gas station thing again. I couldn't imagine not
yeah,
being able to go where I want when I want. Go ahead, sir.
yeah. It is. This is a big problem in our community. There's certain neighborhoods here that I don't go into. Not saying I'm not better than the people that live there. I'm sure, like somebody said, there are poor people that don't commit crime, but the poor people that don't commit the crime to me are the minority in that neighborhood. The way I always when I go to the gas station up the street, there's somebody always standing there. Hey, can I pump your gas for $1 or whatever? I'm like, no, no, no. And I keep my head on a swivel because I don't trust them. There's a gas station down the street from me. I live in Price Hill in Cincinnati. You know what the word is about the neighborhood I live in? They call it Crack Hill. They used to call it Crack Hill. And it is not a bad neighborhood. It's just a certain set of people in the neighborhood that makes the whole neighborhood bad. There's a gas station down the street, BP gas station. It's on Queen City and Harrison. If anybody curious, look up how many times the police have been down there.
Yeah,
So
the analogy I'd say is like if you got a sandwich, right, and
mhm,
somebody put a molecule of shit in that sandwich, is it a shit sandwich?
it's a shit sandwich.
One molecule.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
You
all
see what I'm
right.
saying? So to what extent, how much shit
So I
got to be
don't
in a
like y'all
sandwich before
talking.
you
So
call it a
so I
shit
don't like
sandwich?
y'all talking about black people, bro. So I don't like y'all talking about black people.
Hey,
Z-
that's the
Save the
reality
Negroes,
of it,
Todd.
man.
Is that lady up here? Can we hear that lady talk? You with you
J-
and your shit sandwich?
Jay Walker, if you tapped in, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
AJ Walker.
Good
Good
evening,
evening, ma'am.
Juice.
Good evening, Jay
Welcome
Walker.
in.
My
And then
tomato
Bless,
thrower.
bless.
I'm not throwing no tomatoes this evening. And then Cypro, thank you for having me up. I'm not here with any smoke. I'm just curious, and then I'm only going to address a couple of issues on that. Black America and Jay, um, gentlemen. So I'm curious, and I'm only here for learning. So I'm asking, why are you guys saying it as a whole? I get it, there's bad in all communities, but you're putting it, it's not about saving black people, and we don't want to say nothing bad about black people, but you guys are saying it like all the bad, all the dash cams are black people being bad, and they don't do it like us, and this and that. I'm a dash cam junkie. I see all of them from all ranges. I see, and not only that, I live in it. And can we all just agree one time, real quick, that a lot of us are products of, not products, a lot of us are whatever we live around. So if you see that, Jay, so I mean, not Jay, Black America, if that's what you see, and then plus you have some years on us, you have experience, I get that. But if we're sitting here telling you what we're seeing where we are also, how are you guys sitting here saying all the black people are the worst on the body cams and so forth and so on, and don't trust no black people? That's like telling Todd Pro, don't trust people like me. I'm a good upstanding citizen trying to raise these boys, and if I'm trying to teach my sons, if me and my husband are trying to teach my sons don't let those other people call and say all of us are committing all the crimes. How can I explain them to you when you guys are up here saying it?
No,
I
that's
didn't
not what your
never.
husband's going to
My
explain
very
to you.
first thing. Don't go back.
I, I said, if you and your husband are raising boys, your husband is not going to say anything like that. Your husband is going to say, stay away from them niggas, son. Just like I told my
Yeah.
son, just like Ty Pro is going to tell his son when he get 9 and 10, just like Jay is going to tell his son. We tell our sons, hey, don't fuck with them niggas. My dad used to always say, bad guys do not bullshit. If you fuck with bad guys, you have to be even worse. It's
That's the
not no.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my son not to mess with criminals, not niggas, not black people, criminals. That'd be the main. That's the takeaway. I separate criminality from black people, and that's where we fall. That's why I would say we fall for the propaganda that's pushed because we associate criminality with our people. That's my ultimate problem. That's my ultimate reason for this topic. And Jay Walker, I
That's
agree
what I
with
mean.
you. I agree with you because when we go into these areas in these neighborhoods, Derek Gaines, you was talking about fear. You have a fear that's already programmed of a place that you haven't been to by propaganda of which the media that you've been watching. You already have a preconceived notion that if you see a group of young black people, that it might be some bullshit that's about to happen on your way to the ball game. You already have a preconceived notion that you got to dress a certain way. And I lived in Chicago for 3 years. I moved there for a job.
Hmm.
I'm a Rolling Stone. I'd have been a lot of places. I used to call my home wherever I lay my hat for sure, for sure. By myself. Like I always used to say when I was in a heavy mist of traveling before I was a truck driver, I used to travel. And I will always say, I want to go to the hood in these communities and see how my people live. So, and I did not have that fear, and I never had a problem. I've only had one negative interaction with black people my whole life that was as a victim of crime. I've only been a victim of crime one time in my whole life, and that's fine with me because I know crime exists. I know I don't live in a utopia. I know that there is an element of crime. I know that neighborhoods are dangerous at a certain time when you out and you looking good and you flexing, but I don't carry that fear. My father did used to have that fear, and he was full of "I told you so's" when I did get carjacked, but I didn't let that convince me that things were just so bad that I had to fear what I was doing and where I was going. I just knew that I needed to be aware and have situational awareness because people do rob people, people do carjack people, people do commit crime. Excuse me. But I know that these aren't everybody, and I know that it's not specific to my people. I just
Okay.
wanted to
Can I say something for
go
myself?
ahead.
This is Jay Tillman talking. I know that Black America and I have parallel or tangential talking points, but please don't conflate what I am saying with what Black America is saying. Black America speaks for Black America. Jay Tillman speaks for Jay Tillman. The things that I say, I represent. I can't represent what somebody else has said. So when I say that not all Black people, don't say I said all Black people, because I'm continuously and I choose my words carefully. I've said I'm not speaking for all Black people. I said there's a certain element within the Black community that we can't disassociate ourselves from because on a world stage, we are all them. I didn't say
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that we
You're
are all
correct.
them.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong on that. You're right. You did not say all, but when you generalize the body cams and the dash cams, you
I did
said
not
that.
speak about body cams or dash
Which
cams. I said there's certain
can I
crimes that are specific to us that we know there's certain crimes that are
right?
specific to us that aren't specific to other groups.
You said that
And
they don't. You said that only they don't. The other groups don't do it like us. That's
they
putting
don't
the
commit these crimes like us. Correct.
that. Okay, there you go. There you go. That's what I mean.
Where is a video of a bunch of white kids at a party shooting shots over each other head at each other?
Really?
Please, because I've looked for it. And because I wanted to do something to where I addressed something that was identical to the things that I've
Okay,
seen in our
I,
community.
I get what you're saying about it being shown and broadcasted. I
That's
get
not
that
me.
point.
That's not me asking for argument purpose. That's me
No,
actually
no, I
asking.
know, I
If you
Well,
know.
have footage, email
So
it to me,
I
please.
just wanna, I just wanna add. Do you think that that does not happen?
I don't know because I haven't seen it, Ty. That's why I'm asking.
I agree with you.
I know who runs up in a school by
Can I
themselves
can I say
and
this?
takes people out. That's not us. You see what I'm
So,
saying?
so there is a group, and I
Wait,
heard Jay Walker. I'm gonna let Jay Walker get in here because she was about to say something. But there are groups and gangs that are white that do this. That is a thing.
Yeah.
And
Are they recording themselves
is it
do it?
right? So I give you that. I give you that. It may not be, and I can only imagine that the I don't
she
like to
was up here.
blame I don't like to blame media for a lot of things because I don't think media is associated with crime, but I will blame social media culture with why we as a people, a group of people that post dumb shit and them doing crime and dumb shit.
Yeah,
I
but
think that
they
world
have the
star,
same access that we
that's that
do.
right. So that's why I'm saying that's that world star mentality that is birthed from our crime, birthed from us committing crime and wanting to record it. But it is not. You have to know that it does happen in those communities with just white people shooting at each other,
Yeah.
and if you have to question if it's a real thing or not, that feeds the narrative that I'm saying we fear each other and we don't trust each other. I'm gonna let Jay Walker get in here after that. And
No,
Lee
his thing
Turner
is,
said,
why is don't we see it?
That's
That's
what I'm
what
right,
Jay is
asking.
saying.
That's why
right,
Why
I'm
don't we
literally
see it?
asking y'all.
Yes, we know they
I
do it,
agree.
but they don't see it. They don't
Yes,
have
Project
a Nicki
Leroy.
Minaj. Oh,
It's
I'm
not
gonna
a
go ahead and let her speak. My bad.
it's not
Okay.
propaganda if
Hey,
let,
bro,
we're
you got a light?
let,
self-reporting. If we're
let
self-reporting and self-snitching, it's not propaganda.
got you. Let Jay Walker get in there.
Okay, you're right. It's not propaganda, and you're right. Why don't you see it? The point is, a lot of us see it in real time. I'm one of those people because I have these teenagers. But what I'm saying is the media, and I know a lot of people don't like to push that, but the media, the way it's ran is to a certain extent, they try to promote and push only certain color
Y'all still
crime.
missing what I'm saying. I think y'all not really listening to me. I'm
Well,
literally
I
asking a
kind of I
question.
am listening. I didn't finish, but I mean, I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let Jay Walker. Come on, guys. Don't we not this not one of them spaces, man.
No, I
Let
No,
know
let
we're
it's
not.
just
No,
hard because
no,
I
no.
can't get what I'm saying is being taken to a different way that I'm not saying
because
it.
you talking about the fact that we posted ourselves. I've seen those videos, so I do understand. But
I get what you're saying with that, Jay. And then and please, if I'm coming off any kind of way, it's not that. This I really came on here to ask questions because I'm trying to understand your point. So I get it. You're saying that they're not posting videos self snitching. They really are. It's just something that there's a lot of cover up in there. They don't want that stuff to head up main media. Just like the Carmelo Anthony situation, there was many videos on that situation, but they only showed the young man stabbing. That's what I'm saying. All those kids had phones. All those kids reported it. It's covered up more. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting it on
great point.
anyone. It's just a lot of cover up because they have to keep that narrative clean to whitewash America to make it look
Let,
like it's all black crime.
let me add to that. That was a great point, Jay Walker. There's a video of these white kids that were jumping a black dude, and the officers on scene. One of them was his father, his uncle, and they got that video up out of here, but it went viral for a minute, like a flicker. And he was like, "We run this town, and we do this. He was like standing on business, like they powerful enough to get away with the crime that they was committing because they were connected. And we do got to remember that there that does exist. That narrative does
I'm
exist where
I'm not saying it
certain
doesn't.
things, so they're getting told certain things and things are being controlled in a way that we don't have the ability to do it. And I will concede to the point that, yeah, there is a demographic of people who's going to self snitch. It's the world star culture, but ultimately, just because you don't see it does not mean that it does not happen or exist. Because if you
Of
start to
of course, man, we
look
know that.
into, so you know that it's happening and it's not just delegated to black people who are just at extreme rate of doing things that is just bleeding all over the internet. It's
Yes,
just that it goes into that same narrative that always been pushed even before social media, that black people are violent and criminals. We've been getting told that our whole lives, all of us, even Black America, we all different points of generations, all been told that black people are criminals and black people are treated as such. If you a 15-year-old black kid, you are treated differently in the media than you would be a white kid at 15 committing the same exact crime.
we know. I
I agree
know
with that.
all of those points. I know
Yeah,
because
we agree with that.
every
So that
man in here
same
was a 15-year
control,
old kid.
so that same control is still, we tend to forget that these social media platforms are controlled by people with agendas. So that same, these algorithms and these videos that's getting posted and pushed to you to be able to see and what you can come up with when you search is not by accident. Lee Turner asked a great question. He said, "What's the solution?" My answer to that is that having a lot of the things that that you, Jay Tillman, Black America, Derek Gaines, a lot of that stuff is rooted in a preconceived fear and past trauma combined,
I
and
agree with you.
is not necessarily you're not necessarily
Can I
depicting
ask you a question?
reality of the times of right now in 2025. Go ahead, Black.
I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question. Would you take your son? You say your baby 8, right?
He'll
8 or 9.
be 6 in November. He'll be 6 next month.
All right. Would you take your same son, that 6-year old, to that block party biker meet?
What, I'm big on age appropriate type of stuff, so that's not an age appropriate thing. But if there was something in the block, because I got a lot of people that do kid friendly block parties, the adults drinking and the kids is playing, and yeah,
But
I
but
wouldn't have a
but
problem with doing that.
for a kid, right? But
Mm,
this is the whole thing. Sometimes we have parties where the children can come, right?
mm,
But
mm-hmm,
sometimes when it's adults, you know that something might shake. When it's a bunch of people from different places, it's a possibility that something might shake. Now, if you go on the strip in Vegas to a club versus going to a strip on the west side in the club, you know I got to wear my soft bottom shoes to the black club because I need some grip just in case. It's just a difference. And it doesn't have anything to do with it. It has to do with these are things that happen. They're not going to happen all the time, right? But these are
mm-hmm.
things that can possibly happen.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. And it's
and
more likely to
I
happen
agree.
when you go to nigga places, is all
I
I'm
get
saying. I go to a
I
lot of
get
nigga places. I'm
yeah,
kicked
I
out of
love
all of the white people spots.
that's where I feel more comfortable at. And like I said, bro, I've been in more fights in public and I've had my share of scraps and brawls. I didn't got stabbed and everything. I have more fights with white people in public at clubs and bars, even in the city, in Detroit and in
That's because you
Chicago.
racist. That's because
No,
you racist.
bro, I've talked to these people and they
You
go out. White, I didn't talk to white people that go out looking for a fight. I had a homie that was in the army and he was tremendous. He was in Iraq. He went through, so we used to blow herb together. And he would tell me that he just goes to the club to beat up people to let out frustrations. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just his thing to do. He's gonna go to the bar, get drunk, find somebody to fight. He don't care if he get his ass whooped. And he said he loved getting into a fight with black people because they usually whoop his ass. But 18, welcome in. Thank you for popping up on this. The voice. Hold on, I got something for you too, 18. Close your eyes.
I don't
Close.
want it. I
You
don't
don't.
want it.
You
I
gotta
saw
get
it
it.
enough. I don't want it.
Hey,
You
that's no
gotta
Keep it.
take
consent.
it.
Please
There's
keep
no
it.
consent.
It's
Please
already
keep
Oh,
it.
coming. It's coming. It's
typo
Don't
coming.
do
better.
that.
I couldn't
Mm,
He
hold it
had
in. I
he
couldn't
had
hold
blue
it
balls
in.
so long his faces was blue.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
We
What
gotta
does
keep it
Charlie Kirk's video
lighthearted.
not being up on Facebook have to do with what we talk about right now? That was
Hey,
someone getting killed. Of course, they're not going to keep. They don't want to keep that on the platform.
no.
retire.
But see, we touched on uh, what do you uh, communicate with your son? You see, I don't have a son. I have a daughter. She's 15. So I got double my trouble. I got to tell her to stay away from them niggas and stay away from them biatches. I have to show her an example of both. You know, I have to be the man that I want her to be attracted to. And as far as her mom, I'm gonna leave that for the flies. I just have to set the standard all the way around. You know, somebody mentioned you are a product of your environment. Uh, I
I'm not.
disagree with that because if I was a product of my environment, I would be either two places in jail
I
or in the
corrected
grave.
that. I have to step in. I
Okay,
corrected that. I started with
all
that, but
right.
then I changed it. I
Mm-hmm.
was saying we're exposed to
Okay,
our environment because I'm not a
okay.
product of my environment either. I grew up in the ghetto.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but
I grew
like
up in
I don't agree with that because you look
some
at
of the
remember
ghettos here.
affluenza.
Can I ask this question? Can I ask you this, Jay Walker? You grew up in the ghetto, but were you exposed to a better life? Did your parents expose you, even though you grew up in the ghetto? To it?
Yes, I was exposed. I was exposed to a lot.
See, that's
Because
what it
yes,
is. Because people grew up in the ghetto. Some people grew up in the ghetto. Well, when I grew up in the 80s, before crack hit the scene, there were families. People had the homes with the white picket fences. And then in the just down the street and around the corner was the village. You couldn't go in or out of the village unless you knew somebody. The police didn't even go into the village. So I had friends that grew up in the village. Some of them dead, some of them alive, and a lot of them are the people I hung around. They're thriving. Some people went to jail. They got out. They went to school while they were in jail because that was back in the day when you could get an education, and they're thriving. So it's really up to you. It's up to
that's
the
true.
individual and what they want to do. And a lot of times they have to do it without the support of their family because the family's telling them that they're selling them out. You're a sellout. You don't want to go to do this or you don't want to do that.
I kind of grew up with. I went from riches to rags due to poor money management. Uh, a lot of y'all probably don't know my background. My father was an athlete, so we came up really well, and then management was bad. IRS came in and swooped that stuff, so I went from the highest to the lowest in no time. So that's exactly what happened there. So I was
But
exposed
what
to a
did that
lot.
teach you? What did that teach you, sweetie? It's all about money management. Am I right
Yes, absolutely
or
right.
wrong?
I'm not sitting here blaming the environment
Hmm.
on what I got going on. I completely exclude myself from where I grew up. I don't act like any of
Hmm.
those young people.
Let me say this about that, and I agree with both you ladies on that. And it does take opportunity, and it does take not falling for everything that's in your environment, falling for a lot of the traps and the peer pressures of your environment. Because in the white communities, or the middle class communities, there's a different set of environmental traps. A lot of that could be drugs or just, doing dumb shit. And I've seen that. But I am a product of my environment. I just am a product of making good choices in my environment. I've always been a good, upright civilian, but I've kept myself to a point where I'm not in jail or dead right now. I'm a product of my environment because mostly everything I learned about how to deal with the world once I went into the world. Because I moved to Houston when I was 18, then I moved to California before I was 19, got my first apartment in California. But along the way, growing up in Detroit, I'm a product of that. The way I talk, the way I walk, how I deal with people, deal with women, and then I was able to add to that as I still grew up into the man I am. So being a product of your environment is not necessarily a bad thing. Is you have to make the proper choices in that environment, have the proper guidance through that environment, like with anybody with anything else. If I grew up with crackhead parents or gangbanger parents or carjacking parents, I would probably be a product of that leadership and that guidance. My cousin, he's in jail now for probably the 10th time. He's a year older than me. At one point during the pandemic, him and his father were in the feds together because he's a product of that leadership, and that's what got him there. So it is more environment is a part of what creates us. It's just that you're blessed to have guidance and leadership that keeps you away from turning. You could grow up next door to a prostitute, as to a
Hmm.
woman that's going to become a prostitute, but you made different choices. You had different leadership that keep you away from that. I
You
just
know
wanted
what,
to add
too?
that tidbit.
Top Pro, the
Yes,
prostitute might
ma'am.
tell you don't do that. Because a lot of people was doing stuff and they was telling us this ain't the route you want to take, or this is
Yes.
not what you want to do. And I don't know who put that in the chat about they were called the white girl. I was too. All throughout high school, they was like, you just chocolate on the outside and white in the middle. You dress like
Because you
you
spoke
white. You
properly.
just like you white. Excuse me.
Because you
Well,
spoke
well,
properly.
And because I don't like, I'm not a jeans and sneaker person too. So I I wear mostly dresses and dress slacks and stuff like that. And I always worked. So I would mainly dress for work so I could go to work after school. But I was never jeans and sneakers.
so
I was always dresses and
and so
skirts.
and so that's what I want to say with Miss J Walker. Miss J Walker, when you come from a upper level to a lower level, unfortunately, you still have standards. There was still a bar set, right? So it's just like my kids. They they never had to do or see any of the things that I did, but I set a bar for them of excellence. So when we go places, they like, dang, like everybody knows who you are, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Everybody knows who you are. But they had a standard set for them. Sit up, stand up straight. When you walking, you walk with a purpose. You talk to somebody, you look them in the eye,
Mhm.
you give them a firm
Yeah.
handshake. All of those things were instilled in you because you were at one time, whether it was you or your parents, they were in that upper stratosphere. And you didn't yes, you could go to the projects and still live like a king or queen because you have standards. Just because you're in the ghetto don't mean your house have to be there. You see what I mean? Just because just
Yeah.
because you just because your car is a hoopty doesn't mean that it can't be clean and it can't be running correctly. You see what I mean? You still can take care of your things. People with a poor mindset, and that's what it really is. Somebody said, "What's the solution?" Ty Pro know what I say. Once we catch a nigga doing something 2 or 3 times, we need to beat the skin off of his back in public square and let everybody know, hey, you got to stop doing this, else it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. Because going to
It's
jail is fun.
it's
Going to
my
jail is
going to jail is
relaxing.
not fun.
Bro, Ty
Oh,
Dude,
Pro,
I had,
nowadays, bro, you get you some
dude,
bunk bed hibachi.
dude, right.
oh
I
man.
was in prison in the 90s. These niggas got cell phones and everything now. I had
Hmm.
a,
They be on Kendrick
I
G
had a,
show
That's
on their
I,
you
I,
heard when I
I
phones.
had
said
a,
Black America, like people got their education when they went to prison. They was tired. A lot of people was tired of going to jail, so they did stuff when they was in prison. So when they came out, like in the early '90s, before they came up with all these laws, so when they got out, they were straight. They didn't
but
have to
but
Yeah.
go
see
back to
the
the
thing,
streets.
but the thing is with that is you yes you got your education in jail, right? And even I
Hmm.
got a degree in prison. I got a degree in prison also. So you get your education while you're in prison, but you change your mindset. The
You
people
do.
that don't change the people that don't change their mindset, unfortunately, Ty, your cousin,
Mhm.
his mindset isn't going to change. So when he gets out in 2 years or a year and a half or whatever, when he's done with his time, he's going to stay out another 6 to 8 months, unless you say, "Hey, cuz this is what you have to do." Or see,
Agree.
everybody has to start cutting these people off. You know what I mean? Because you go to prison. I'm not sending you no letters. I'm not sending you no commissary. I'm not sending you nothing. You in there, you fucked up. You see what I mean? When people
Yeah,
are doing these, when people are doing these things, nigga, man, you don't know how much money. I got a homeboy. He killed somebody in the 90s, and he got action that coming home. This nigga don't even want to come home because he's enjoying himself too much there, right?
Hmm.
He don't even want to come home.
institutionalized.
He he
Institutionalization is a
runs
real thing.
he he runs the gambling ring inside of the prison. He's good.
I agree
He
with
don't want
you.
to come home.
I agree with you
FaceTime and
about the
So
grills.
mindset. I
But
agree
you know,
with you
people don't
about
nigga,
believe
the
it.
mindset thing.
People
And I
don't
do
believe it. Excuse me. People don't believe it when you say everything. When you hear people say everything that's what they call it on the break. Everything that's out of prison, you could get in prison. It's just they say it's exactly the same. A lot of people say they go to prison and they enjoy it.
that's right. It's a microcosm. It's a microcosm. Like I said, I enjoyed prison, dude. It was so relaxing. I didn't have to worry about uh who was if somebody was coming to rob me. I was already in prison, so I wasn't having to worry about police hunting me down. I I wasn't getting any tickets. It was relaxing. It
let,
was no
let me
stress.
let me say this. Let me say this. Agree with you about the mindset. You and people that enjoy prison enjoys the structure and security of prison because people that are like that don't have stability in their life outside of jail. Just like my cousin, he's not a stable person. He's not somebody who's used to making consistent money.
That's
Excuse
not
me,
true, Todd.
consistent
That's
money
not
from
true.
a job. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
I've been a father since I was 15. Like I
We
bought my
talking
first house
about
when I was 19.
so making money in the streets and making money from a job is two different things. So I'm talking about the structure of making money from a job. Making money from a job and having benefits and having taxes being taken out, going to work every day and having to set your alarm and make your lunch. That's structure. That's stability. And a lot of people, it don't matter how much money you making in the streets, excuse me, in the streets. I'm drinking a little Delion. I'm sorry, y'all. Making money in the streets isn't structured. It's not a you're day by day. You making what you make every day. You doing your thing. But when you making money from a job and you have to have rent and now you accumulating a car and a house that you gotta take care of and now you paying bills and you got insurance, you go to the doctor and you go to the dentist. That is things that people in the street don't experience. People in the street don't
Ty
experience
Pro,
going to the
Ty,
out-
I've always had a job. Ty,
okay.
I was a firefighter before I went to prison. Ty, I was a firefighter.
I,
When I
I think
Well,
went
y'all
to
both saying
prison,
the same thing. Y'all just talk about two
Again,
different types of structure, intrinsic
Uh-huh.
and
again,
extrinsic.
it's a structure and a stability thing that keeps people saying, they got three hots in the cot. They don't gotta worry about rent. They don't gotta worry about this. There's not enough Kulikata in jail for me, so that's not a place
Ain't
for me. I
none
didn't,
You
unless
mess
they
I,
with
got
I,
female
guards.
guards.
I
They
didn't
mess with
did.
guards, Ty Pro.
Yeah, nah,
Ain't that
Guards
many
mess with
guards
the
in there
best
for
of
all of
them.
them.
it ain't enough. It ain't enough. Then it ain't enough to even go around with just that. That's not the type of environment I could function in. I've done a little stint in county, very minimal, not nothing that I could brag about. And when I was in there, I knew a whole bunch of people from the streets that was in there. But
Nah, I can't
it's the
smell man flesh
structure.
all day long, man.
Hell no, that is not something I could do.
Boot camp was
I
enough for
need
me.
female women energy around me. But I say this, it's the structure and the stability that people, it's an easy way because structure and stability is not an easy thing to come by. Having a house, a car, bills, insurance, doing your thing like a civilized adult is not something that's easy. That's why so many people half-ass do it and are
Yeah,
barely able to do it. That's a
because it's
whole nother
intrinsic.
conversation. Jay Tillman, though, I do want to backtrack on something you said. I did not
Let's
forget about it.
let's get it.
I've been needing to come at you on this for a little second. The whole notion of talk white or you act like a white person, right?
Uh-oh.
So
Hmm.
I got a few things I want to say about that. We had Rachel G. Shout out to Rachel G. Oh my God. Rachel G. Cover your eyes. But the whole notion of you talk like a white person, that's usually for one something that children say. That's not
No,
an
it's not.
adult. Hold on, because we about to go. We got a 1v1 real quick. We about to do this 1v1. That's not a situation that you find yourself in out of college age. I'll give you that. I say college age. Once you 21 and up, if you are going around people that still say shit like that, they are on the lowest level of niggerdom. All right. They don't
Niggatry.
they are niggotry. Thank you. They are on the lowest brim of that. Them niggas need a book and probably a toothbrush. But I would say that a lot of trauma gets accumulated about that, the sensitivity is developed at a young age because usually that's something that young people say. You talk white, and it's not just how you talk. So we get it confused with, oh, I read books. 'Cause I used to read a lot of books when I was younger, but I always talked to a little swang to me. But you get talked about for how you talk, but it's also how you dress, how you look, how you carry yourself, because we associate at those ages, especially being in the hood, we associate the preppy Carlton type of. That's why Carlton was a character on Fresh Prince. He was the white boy, black boy. That characteristic was already impressionated on our minds to say that. So it's not something to
Mm-hmm.
carry into adulthood. Oh, if I talk like this or I dress like this, I'll consider white, because I used to start dressing preppy in high school. Once they implemented you can't wear jeans and t-shirts, you have to have a collar shirt, cargo
You
pants.
gonna let me hit back, or you gonna
I
keep
got you.
scratching
I
and
got
scraping?
you. I
You gonna
got
keep
you. I'm
scratching and
just
scraping?
giving my points, and then you for sure. This a 1v1. This a ISO. So I used to dress cargo pants and polo shirts in on the weekend. And when I was 16, we was going to the bar. We was going to the bar at 16. And they'd be like, bro, you wearing that? You look like you about to go to school. It was all Ralph Lauren, but that was my thing. And so I would just say this: it's about how you dress, how you talk, and how you carry yourself. Do think that that is part of the trauma that's associated with how you look at black people, especially in the hood. Go ahead, brother.
I got you. I'm gonna walk this down. I'm gonna go back in history for a second.
All right,
I'm gonna address what you
Bucky
said
waiting
first.
on you.
You said, go ahead. You said first. You said first. You can't. That's a childhood thing. You can't take
Mm,
that from your childhood and bring it into your adulthood. I'm gonna ask you two questions.
mm.
Have you ever been a slave?
Huh?
God.
Just
One
been a
Bucky.
slave? Go ahead, get them and answer my. Go ahead, answer the question
Never.
now.
I've never been a slave. No.
Have you ever gone through Jim Crow?
No.
So why do we consistently talk about those negative things that have impacted us and bring them into the future? But I can't talk about somebody telling me I sound like a white boy as a child because I choose to speak properly. I can't take that into the to my present.
Okay, because one is a stereotype and the other thing is a system. As being called a white boy systematically affected
But
you and your sister.
it's
Hold
not
on.
white people calling me, it's not white
Okay, I
people
know
calling
it's
me
not.
that.
So
It's
let me
people
ask you my
who it's
question.
people who look. No, you had a whole bunch of scratching and scraping. You was scratching and scraping, Daddy. I'm gonna start talking like Puff Daddy to you. How come we don't party no more, Ty Pro? No, I'm just playing. But
Look, I've never been a slave. I've never been in Jim Crow, but the
yeah, but
systems and
that's
the
the thing.
legislation
It's
of that
things that
impacted
happened
me
to us
on a
in the past
general.
affect our present now. And the reason I said that to her, and I guarantee it was black people saying that to her, which still affects her. All the
You know
lights,
what it
all
changed
our light
into?
skinned brothers and sisters.
Excuse me, Jay Tillman, for 1 second. You
Yes,
know what
ma'am.
it changes into when you get an adult? You think you're better than other people. And you know
Yeah,
why?
it
It's
does.
because you know how to read and write a little bit better than them.
And this is not a childhood thing. When we are proud of ourselves, of our intelligence, of our dialect, of things of that nature, of our status that we've worked for, all of a sudden sometimes other people see that and be like, oh, you think you better than us. When you
Yeah.
go
Okay.
back to the hood, when you go back to those other areas, sometimes you got to dim your light when you get around certain people because you don't want to shine too bright because they're
But
going to
why
look
go
at you a
back?
But
certain way. You don't want to
that's
make them feel bad. And I say, screw them. I'm gonna be
I got
myself
you.
around you. If you can't
Bro,
tolerate me
you
being the
gotta
person I
be
am, then
Carlton. Be Carlton. No, I like Carlton. Carlton was fresh to death with all that polo on. This would be my rebuttal.
Project
Do
Leroy,
you
you hear me,
think?
but you never listen, bro.
Do you think that white people that talk ghetto and like that redneck white people, southern white people, poor white people talk the same way? They slang and barely talk English
Bro,
themselves.
I'm talking
Hold
about
on, hold
us.
on, hold
I
on,
am
hold
talking
on.
about us.
I
I'm not talking
know.
about
I'm
nobody else.
asking you a question. I'm walking you down slow. Do you think that those white people would say the same thing about you?
You mean
Exactly,
they
Tillman.
pull a Barack Obama on me when they're
It's
like,
a
oh,
word. It's an actual
he speaks so eloquently.
Project Leroy probably gonna say it in the chat. There's actually a word that starts with you that those type of white people will use. What's that word?
That starts with a U,
Yeah.
uppity. You talk about uppity.
Yeah, yeah, those white people will say the same shit about you because intelligence threatens people that aren't intelligence. This is a self-esteem conversation. That's why it's different than talking about Jim Crow and slavery because these were systematic entities that affect people on a generational scale.
But
You
Ty,
being
you know what
called,
I get
hold
to
on,
do
hold
with
on, hold
those
on, hold on,
people?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
All right,
You
HQ.
being called, you been, yeah, hold on. You being called a white boy because you could read and you wore a button-up shirt under a sweater is a self-esteem thing between you and them people calling you that because that shows a lack of intelligence and on people saying it and it showed you carrying it that it affected you. Yo, you wanted to show that you dress like Carlton right now. I feel you.
Yeah, it did.
But you wanted to show you it's a self-esteem, not a systematic thing. So bringing up Jim Crow and bringing up slavery and how it affects us to this day is a
No,
different
that's not what I'm talking.
conversation.
Y'all hear me, but y'all don't be listening, man. I brought up those
Listening,
2 points because you made a point. That's
brother.
something that's happened to you in the past. That's a childish thing. Nobody above college age is doing that. You shouldn't bring that with you into your adulthood. The correlation between bringing that from my childhood or who said that in the chat? A Team said it, and Rachel G said it, I believe.
Mhm.
That's something that
Hmm.
happened to them specifically in the childhood that they're bringing into their present because whether it's trauma or not, it happened to them. What I'm saying is we were never slaves. We didn't go through Jim Crow, but we still bring that stuff from our past to show
Because it
patterns of
still
why we
affects us now
because we
to
show
this
patterns
day.
of think I'm okay. I'm not saying that you can't do that, Ty. Are you listening? We
Listening,
bring
go
those
ahead.
things from the past because we're showing that it's even though it happened, even didn't even happen to us, it happened in the past and it's still affecting us now, correct?
Rick.
Now, how come you said if somebody says you sound white, I can't bring that from my past into now? That's
Because
the
that's
point I'm
not
saying.
that's you being called a white boy should not affect your children unless you just
No, it
instill
doesn't
that into
affect it
they
doesn't affect my
right.
thing, but we all know it happens because it's happened to more of us. And
And
even
that's
it's
not
three people in
that
here that it's happened to.
these kids, my daughter is in high school. She's not never gonna have to deal with that. My son is never gonna have to hear that because these kids is different than then. They don't
That's
understand type of
irrelevant, but it,
jokes.
it did
But
happen to a lot of people though, right?
it did,
It's a
yeah.
thing in our
But let me tell
community.
you
It's
this.
a
Let me
thing in our community. If you speak proper English, there's a sect of our community that will look at you different because you speak proper English. That's
and
what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
and it's but it and it's not even okay, so I've had home. I used to hang out with a lot of people. I didn't necessarily always hang out with a lot of people, but I hung out with a lot of people. And in those groups of people I kicked it with, there were black nerds who we would talk, crack those same jokes on. Be like, "Yeah, bro, you a damn Oreo," you know. So we ain't say coconut. I don't know where that came from, Stevie.
That's a
But
that's more of an Asian thing.
we would say these type of things to each other as jokes. It wasn't like, this dude can read. Oh my God, he knows how to read words. It would just be a joke. And it was a joke reflecting on our own self insecurities of our intelligence. And I'll tell you this, when I was like 16, my cousin who was older than me told me, boy, you could barely talk English. All you do is talk slang. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk like you got some sense sometimes,
Yeah,
and it
absolutely.
affected me. And I definitely took that in consideration immediately and started to work on conversating more outside of just talking like a hood nigga, because that's what I was around most of the time, so that's how I talked. But being able to understand completely what you're saying, because I've seen it done to people myself. And
That's
even
what I'm
once I
talking
started
about.
and once I became older, before I graduated high school, I wouldn't say I would be getting called white boy, but I was judged a lot for the way that I dressed, because I was dressing Kanye West type of
Classy,
style before Kanye West existed.
classy.
He
He
came
was
right around
dressing
the corner,
classy.
and that
Hey, y'all
that went
seen my
away.
pictures, my childhood pictures.
But
So
that went
We used
away
to we
once
used
that
to call it
became a
prep.
thing. Excuse me, that
We
went
used to
away
call
once
that
that
prep.
became a thing. My whole thing with that, I don't want to hold us to this conversation for too long, is that these it I feel like it causes trauma. It has a place in how you look at black people from certain communities dealing with that trauma, and
yeah,
having that be a part of your personality still to this day. It impacts your POV on these communities and how you look at these people. And I do think that that's something that if you was to deal with personally, you would look at those people differently, unlike dealing with the trauma of Jim Crow or slavery or redlining or the war on drugs, which is all things that we will be talking about over here individually. The war on drugs, slavery. I will always say we need reparations, because it's more than just we need money type of shit. It's a bigger thing at risk. I got some videos I'm putting together already for that. These are all things that are systematically affecting us. You getting clowned a little bit, as I used to get clowned. I had to learn how to roast if you see me in these chats, y'all know I crack jokes. I had to learn how to roast motherfuckers because I was getting roasted. I had a big square head, used to get flamed,
what you mean
almost
you
wanting to
had?
cry. Yeah, well, fuck you. I just
Your
forget.
face is big as hell. You got a big ass face, and it's an indictment on them, Project Leroy. It's absolutely an indictment on them. And I would
Exactly.
say,
Mm-hmm.
just
That's my
like when
ultimate
Ty was
point.
asking me, when if somebody called me uppity, then I know what category to put them in.
Yeah, and
And
that's
I have a benefit of not even having to deal with those type of people because they're not a part of my community.
and
But y'all are.
a lot of times in the hood, and I'll say this and we can get back on top. In the hood, right? Big on drinking water. I'm big on talking the way I talk about these subjects in the hood. Smoking a
Big ass
blunt,
face.
drink. Fuck you too. Drinking liquor on the block and all of this stuff, and they'll look at me funny, like, you know what I'm saying. We get the bottle, all my cousins and shit, alcoholics. We going to get a bottle. We going to the store. I go buy 4 or 5 water bottles, smart water or Essentia, pass them around to everybody like, hey, we gotta stay hydrated while we drinking. These niggas looking at me like, what the fuck are you on? And
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I was. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get up early, we'll be partying all night, we trapping all day. I'll be the one getting up at the crack of dawn. Niggas not waking up until 12, 1 p.m. I'm waking everybody up at 8 o'clock. Hey, let's go for a walk and all this type of shit. And I would get looked at a certain type of way, but I was so firm in who I was, it didn't affect me. So they couldn't really, they would crack jokes, but it just rolled off, and they would assimilate to it because people who aren't
Ty,
aware of that
can I
type
jump in
of,
and say something?
even when it comes to the you talk like a white boy, you could utilize that. And don't motherfuckers will, it depends on who you are with these groups of people, and they will look at you with a respect. It really is a sign of respect, even though they're, because that's how things are when you're a kid. You gonna clown that shit, but it's really a reflection, like Project Libra said, is an indictment on them. But if you just press on and be who you is, they're going to have a respect for you, that you're different, that you have a pride on something like intelligence, or trying to be a little more conscious and responsible about what you're doing.
Not the
Things
women.
just
Women
shouldn't
hate
carry that
women.
with you as you get older, because it shows the lack of intelligence on the people saying them type of things. Yes, I was drinking good tequila and Perrier water. Yep. But back to
Can
what
I?
we saying.
Okay.
Do we have to fear each other? Can we learn to trust each other? Can we learn to work with
No.
each other? Can we hire black
Mm-mm.
landscapers and black painters, or do we have to have a stereotype or stigma doing these
No,
type of
you hire on you act accordingly based off the merit that somebody has, the credit that they build up with you, regardless of their skin color. Can I go
Am I
black
wrong?
first?
Yes.
Can I go
Yeah.
black first? Yeah. But if how many times do I have to go black when they're not doing their job? If they doing their job, I ain't got to worry about nothing. I could care less what their skin color is. Going black first? Absolutely, I will do that.
Do you go into
Absolutely.
these? Do you go into this decision making thinking the worst about dealing with black people?
No, I don't. I never have. I don't have a negative connotation when I look at us as an entirety. I know the buffoonery that lies within us, but I know I never look at black people like, oh man, black people, yada yada yada. I just said that on Truth Over Lies the other day. When us brothers see each other out in the world and we look at each other, what do we do? You give the what's up. I see you, brother. I see you. So
Mhm.
I know what they're saying on the news media is not true, because when we're out in the world outside of those isolated incidents that happen, that the news media pushes, or that people are self-snitching showing on things, when I see guys my age out in public, it's what's up, brother. I see you.
We do snow snitch.
I
I remember
Diggy.
we
Jay
had
Walker,
somebody.
18. How y'all feel about that? Can we trust each other? Can we
Listen,
hire black people to do the things we need to do? Can
you
we
know,
can we deal with each other with money
a
and
type pro.
relations and
When my
business,
late
black owned
husband was living,
businesses? Can we support each other? Can we trust each other?
when my late husband was
I don't think
living,
Ty Pro can hear you, 18.
No, I can't.
okay,
Let me keep talking. I'm gonna get out and come back in.
we had somebody to come in and put floors in. You know what dude said? He said, I milked the hell out of them. Like it took him forever and we was paying him for work by the day. And like in the middle of it, somebody came back and told us like he milking y'all. Like he said he milked the hell out of y'all doing the floors. He gonna take it slow time. So we was like, okay.
That's horrible.
We got,
That's
it's a local person. You want to go with somebody local, they know their job. And that was the end of him ever coming to do anything for us. Because when the kids were small in October, I would just paint everything because, I done washed the wall so much I can't wash them no more. But anyway, we just didn't use them no more. And you get a Mexican to do the same work, and they'll come in one day and it's done. I digress. My mic is muted.
I understand that having bad experiences with
all
black
right.
people.
So can I speak?
Go ahead, brother.
All right. So uh, can we hire black people to do certain things? Certainly. When if all possible, it depends on what type of job you want done, what type of money you're working with, and your geographic location. Right? I'm in Las Vegas. It's certain jobs that I wouldn't trust somebody to do. I'd either rather do it myself or I would outsource it to a Mexican. Or it just depends. I I don't need a gardener. Um, I do love barbecue. When I go eat barbecue, I like going to a black barbecue spot. But as far as trusting regular people on the streets, Typro, what you're saying as far as what would be best for the community, I'm just gonna warn against it. I'm gonna tell you be very, very careful because if you invite a snake into your home, it's gonna eventually bite you if it's a poisonous snake. So just be careful with what you're doing. I understand you want black people to do better and be on top and things like that. And I'm all for that. But in the same breath, regular people on the street, when we talking about niggas be on nigga shit. And if you are not on that type of time, do not mess with those type of people. Stay far away from them as possible.
Respect it. I respect it, man. And that's what my ultimate point is, though. Building black community is going to take working with each other and circulating that black dollar. Jay Walker, how you feel? Can we trust each other? Can we work with each other? Do we have to fear each other?
I okay, so with Jay and Black America, I hear exactly what you're saying. I do. That's why I came up to ask the question. And I get what you're saying, Black America, about like not just getting any N-word off the street. I get that part. But also, wouldn't like Jay said, no matter what the color of their skin, isn't that of the vetting process of getting something done professionally anyway? Why would we go pick somebody off the street? Wouldn't we want to vet the company and invest our money into something worthwhile? That's going with our intelligence also, because you don't want to invest your money in something bad. So I get where you're saying there. I wouldn't go ask crackhead Johnny to hook me up. I mean, unless he's just gonna move some trim or some bushes or something, that's easy. That's a $10 gig. But I'm talking about like some real root work. So I get what you're saying there. And in Thai Pro, yes, I think we can. It's just a matter of building the communities within ourselves and not letting the outside community, I don't want to say it on YouTube, don't let the outside community corrupt us to try to make us think that we're all that way. It's not black people committing all of these crimes and this is that. It's not. We are, but it's all. It's not just us. But there are some good ones with among us. That's what I'm saying. That if we can all work together, and I think we can trust each other with the proper vetting process. I believe so. And I'm not trying to sound
Agreed.
like roses and lilies and unicorns, but I'm just saying I've had some good dealings with other people. I've had my houses in my 20s and 30s. I've had a couple of my homes robbed twice. And one for a fact I know was a mixed group with Mexican and white people. And then another one was black people trying to get some of my father's memorabilia. It's just where we were at the moment. But that doesn't mean everybody's like that. No one's trying to rob me now. So that's where I stand on that. I get where y'all coming from, especially you, Black America. You got some years on me. I get your experience, and then you're also traveling all over the place. But I just don't agree with the crime synopsis that you guys are putting out there.
Well
I'm,
said.
I'm not.
Well
I'm
said.
not. I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's crime. I'm just saying it's like okay. So my hustle is cars, right? I've been working on cars for the last 40 years. I've been working on cars. So when somebody calls me, hey, I need this, that, and the other thing done, it's because of word of mouth, right? Now, if it is a word of mouth uh thing, then they know that they're coming to me. They know that, hey, he did this for me or he did that for me, and everything came out right. But I'm talking about I had to go to a lady house a couple of weeks ago. I I was like, "Where's your car?" She was like, "Somebody was working on it. He never came back." She said, "I looked on Craigslist. I picked the brother up. He came to the house. He started working on my car. He said he was gonna come back." And then that was 4 days ago. So when I got to her house, the whole front drive axle was off her car and everything. I had to go to the junkyard, rebuild, get her a whole new A-frame, everything, rebuild her whole the whole side of her car for her. That's because yes, and he was a black man and she was a black woman. What I'm saying is people are not going to always be above board. And there's no way to vet somebody that you're meeting off of a dating site as well as a Craigslist. There's no proper form of vetting. You see what I mean?
Discretion.
So yeah, it's no such thing because I'm gonna tell you, Jay, I'm gonna act great until you give me some buns. After you give me some buns, I'm gonna be like, and then I'm gonna decide whether I like you or not.
You gotta say Jay Walker. You just can't say Jay.
Oh,
He said, "Give him them buns, Jay."
You just. I'm
no,
like,
my bad. Jay
like,
Walker.
yo.
Jay Walker. So and that's what I'm telling you. That's the way a lot of people are, and just like the other, I don't know if it was you or the other young lady talking about getting milked by getting the floors done. You,
That,
I
yeah,
mean,
that was her.
you guys have to be careful. Guys have to be careful.
So when I said discretion, you said there's no such thing. Like I wouldn't use nobody off Craigslist. Is that what you mean?
Right. So you only use word of mouth people then, right?
No, not necessarily. I look
So
into businesses. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
so okay, so the question would be how would you vet somebody?
I look at their reputation. Everybody leaves a trail. Your work should
Mhm.
speak for itself. So that's what I mean
Mhm.
by that. It wouldn't just be a random dude that's like, yeah, I work on cars.
Facts.
Yeah.
I done got a bunch of times listening to that dude that, yeah, I worked on cars. Everybody works on cars. You know what I'm saying? So what I
Right.
mean is I would look at the
And
history trail. And that's what I mean when I say
right,
discretion. So when you say there's no such
right.
thing, what do you mean by that?
Because what I mean is so I don't have a trail, right? I don't have uh YouTube is my only source of what do you guys call it social media. I've never had a Facebook. I don't have the grams. I don't have any of those things, right? There is no way if you don't have my phone number or you know somebody that knows me, there is no way for someone to contact me, right? So even when people are doing that, so if you can actually physically look and this person has a trail and everybody's saying that he's good, then I go with it. I go with what you're saying. So I fuck with what you're
He
saying
was
as far as that.
recommended. You did have a trail, but sometimes it's just, I guess we were the miss. Some people are hit or miss, and some people, they're going to be meticulous about all of their work because they don't want
Yes,
that bad grade or bad rating.
yes. And that's the
And
way I am because my word on the street, my name on the street is much bigger than who I am. Right. So if my name precedes me, when I go to the car shows or I'm hanging out with my buddies that are car enthusiasts, like I know one of the top people that do exhaust in the whole world. We did a car for Jason Momoa a few months ago. Like so when it comes to things like that, your name is everything. And if
yeah,
you have one person that might be disgruntled, you need to atone for that. You need to make good on your name. So whoever that was that kind of jacked you on the floor, they need their ass kicked. I don't like shit like that.
So,
Even if he's
Foxy,
black.
he
I
that's
was
why
say
black,
this.
but
what I
I'm gonna tell you
said.
this too, Black America. I notice a lot of people. I'm in South Carolina, and it's a lot of young men coming up with businesses, and they're doing better than the people. The guys in their 20s and 30s are making a better name for themselves than guys in their 50s and 60s. When it used to be like guys in their 70s now. One guy, he used to work at the steel mill with my dad, and he did plumbing. He does plumbing too. And he came to me, he had to come to my house to do some stuff. And he said, it's a shame none of my grandkids want to take up this trade. Like, that is a profession that plumbers make a lot of money. And a
Yeah,
lot of
they
a
make
lot of
but
the kids now are not raised, they're not raised
well,
to do anything.
well
Like,
I'm gonna tell you like this. Me and Ty Pro are both in the trucking industry, right?
mm-hmm,
So all the when I first got into trucking, the white people were so upset. Then when the Mexicans start getting into trucking, their feelings was hurt. But you know why? Truckers back then, they made a shit ton of money. Every
they
old
did.
trucker
My
every old
stepdad was
trucker
a trucker.
right? Every old trucker
Mhm.
their houses was paid for. They
Yep.
had
The
nice
wife didn't
cars.
work. I had
That
three
yes,
uncles that were truckers, and they were older. They were like my grandmother and them age, but they
right,
moved to Connecticut. Their wives didn't work if they didn't want to. Like, it was, they worked for Pepperidge Farm too. My husband was a
right,
truck driver also, so I didn't work
right.
when I had my kids. I didn't work
Think about
unless I wanted
so
to.
the whole thing about that is they made so much money. You guess what? They kids got better education. Once again, we all preach, don't be like me, be better than me. So now what? Their kids don't
Hmm.
want to be no trucker. Who wants to do that hard work and be gone from their family and have to work 15, 16 hours a day?
My son used to ride with
You
my
know,
husband a whole lot. My son and my nephew. His nephew, well, my son and his nephew. His nephew got his CDL at 18. My son chose to go to college. He was like, "Ma, I don't want to be a trucker." I kind of saw what it did to daddy, so that was his choice. But my son picked it up, so that was a good thing too.
right? Yeah,
Not
and
my
once
son, my
again,
nephew.
we always preach, don't be. And when it comes to stuff like that, there's really nothing that That's why who wants to be a plumber? I was a plumber for a couple of years in there too. Great money. Plumbers out here at work for the union make $56 an hour. You know what I mean? That's good
Electricians
goddamn money.
too. Hmm.
Yeah,
But people
electricians
back
too.
then,
All of these solar plants
yes.
going up. You
They
know,
learned by trade back then. Like, everybody in the community, there was like a plumber, there was an
who am I speaking with? Is
electrician.
this the Miss 18?
Yes, there were. Yes, there
Okay.
was plumbers. There were
So
electricians. There were carpenters. Like there was always
so this
somebody in the community older that you could
so
call
this is
on. Go ahead.
so this is what I want to tell you though. Nowadays, the younger men that are out here getting it is they're getting it for themselves, right? It's like my
Hmm.
sons, right? But if you're a
Hey,
truck
hey,
driver,
hey, blacks. Excuse me,
that's
black.
not a sexy enough job. Go ahead.
I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to go out to dinner with the family. So I'll holler at y'all later, man. A good
Good night,
conversation.
J. man.
Good convo, Jay.
All right.
Thanks for
Have
coming
a
up, bro.
wonderful
Hey,
day.
baked
Appreciate you.
baked foods only, Jay. You getting fat around the gills, bro. Baked foods only. Okay.
Hey, all of us got
Uh-oh.
fat faces. I know you ain't talking.
Hey,
Oh
Jay,
shit.
I got a special tune for you before you go, bro.
Don't even
Oh
play it.
no.
Oh,
I appreciate you,
Bro,
my
mhm.
brother. Thank you.
even know who you
Hey,
talking.
how come you don't never play yours?
What's mine?
The one that the guy that looked just like you in
Which
the truck.
in the oh yeah, I gotta download that. Yeah, that was crazy. I
Yeah,
thought that was me
I
for a
sent you
second.
two versions of it.
Yeah, I seen you have my logo on one of them. I'm about to download it. I had that ready. I forgot
Yeah.
to download it. It's
All
in
right,
my
y'all have a good night.
files.
Yeah, I
Peace
know.
out, bro.
Night.
Thank you for
All right.
coming up.
Just
I do
just
want
just like y'all just like y'all people to not,
to. You
Oh my
people,
God. Good
don't
night,
make me
Jay.
play it again. Look. I say this.
Bye with your uppity self.
Carlton. Look, I'll say this. Do know a lot. That's why I do try hard to promote black people, like do business with black people that are in the trades, because do know a few people that's my age that are plumbers and electricians. My shout out to my little cousin just getting his he just graduated, got his HVAC certification.
Up
He's in the
to the
Navy.
nigga.
So I see it and try to spread my dollar with other black people, my landscapers, even my landscaper now. My first one was an older cat. The guy I got now is a young cat. You know, he you might even consider him a YN if you just seen him walking up the street, but he's very professional. He's really committed to his job. And he's really committed to his craft. He did good work. So, I was a little skeptical just because he was younger, not because he was black, but I just knew he was a young guy. He do good work. So I kept him on the team when I moved over here. I think it's important. Of course, we got to vet. Of course, we can't just be getting scammed, and we want to, you take a risk when you deal with anybody. Do promote co- I do promote circulating our dollar in our community, and I also help people get their trades through the school that I went to get my CDL. They give all the trades out for free, and that's something I do heavy. Any of the black guys I talk to, anytime they tell me they're having money problems, or resource problems, or they just not really doing nothing, give them the number to the people that I dealt with. Go get your trade, and a lot of people, more people than not, take heed and they hit me up, bro. I just started class, or just got my certification, or I just got my CDL. So change is a coming. Change is a coming. But we've been on this thing over 3 hours. Anybody got anything else they want to add to the topic before I wrap it up and get us up out of here?
And great panel. Appreciate y'all.
Hmm.
Yeah, y'all
That's
know
good.
my
Yes. Go ahead.
yeah, I
Sorry.
know when I oh yeah, for sure, Jay Walker, for sure. My joint be tripping. Let me refresh and come back in. But I appreciate y'all pulling up on the panel for sure.
Jay Walker, you have sister locks. Those are sister locks. I can't hear you, sweetheart.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, they're not sister. They're just long locks. They're real long. I kind of keep it up because they're so heavy. They're like way down
Yeah,
here, just so they're
I'm
heavy.
gonna put sister. I'm a sister lock my hair.
I wanted to, but then they started getting fatter, and I couldn't change it. So I mean, here we are.
It's pretty.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night.
Jay
Have a good
Walker.
night, everyone.
Thank you for pulling up on me, Jay Walker. I definitely appreciate you.
I
Uh,
appreciate you all.
Shout out to the lock gang. I love the locks. I love the natural hair ladies. Thank you for pulling up on me. 18, as always, with that voice.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Hope everybody enjoyed the discussion we had tonight. Can Black people trust each other? I think that we can. Of course, you got to watch out for criminal activity. Of course, you got to watch out for people with bad intentions. I just don't believe that we need to walk around thinking all people have negative intentions, look like us. Did the thumbnail the way I did. Guys in the ski mask, guy in the suit, fear thyself. Because like it or not, we are a community. And how we treat each other is a reflection of things that we have going on. We treat ourselves better, we treat our people better, we treat our community better. Our community will get better and reflect the energy that we putting into it. We want to our people doing better. We got to do better with our people. Doesn't mean being a victim. That doesn't mean being or ignorant to the things that can occur. It just means putting faith in that everybody ain't cut the same or out to do you dirty. And I appreciate everybody pulling up on me. I appreciate you guys in the chat listening in and interjecting into the conversation as we was having it. Appreciate Black America, Jay Tillman, Jay Walker, 18, Derek Gaines, good looking brother for pulling up on the panel. I think you passed out your moonshine or something. You got up out of here. I appreciate everybody. You know, this is just a space to have conversations about our people, hopes to build a better relationship between ourselves. I just want us to be able to have better interactions. I want us to be able to embrace all the sides of people for the good. I do see us growing. I do see us getting better. I do see us getting to a point where these stigmas and stereotypes are going to be more and more and more proven wrong. Shout out to Medium Man for the providing the information in those clips that we watched and breaking down the statistics to have a talking point that can disprove a lot of these stereotypes that adds to the fear that we have for each other. As to the uh, negative stereotypes that we make about each other. And I use other communities outside of us as reference points, but I only care about our community because the stronger our community, the stronger we are as individuals, we amongst other people in their communities, and the better we can associate ourselves with just being an American in America. We gotta strengthen our community first before we can fully embrace being a part of all these other communities. Truly, truly, truly appreciate everybody. Thank you, Jessica M. Thank you, Natural KRC, for pulling up. Thank you, Chef G Rap, for pulling up, brother. Don't even worry about it, man. You say you coach Pop Warner. That's what I'm talking about. My brother out here, I already know you got a bunch of little nuggets out there throwing the football. So you doing your thing, bro. You was doing the type of work we talking about. So definitely do your thing. Definitely, definitely keep helping out. Jay Tillman says, "How come I do not have a record?" If you notice, all my wrenches are ladies because I love the women's. I love the women's. All my moderators are women's. Come here, ladies, ladies, ladies. Close your eyes, ladies. I'm building the team of the perfect women moderators over here. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Appreciate y'all for yeah, I gotta get you natural KRC. You be MIA, but I'm gonna rinse you up. You part of the group too. You gotta close your eyes too. It was a little bit of that in there for you too. But appreciate everybody for rocking with me. I appreciate Go Cree Cree. Who else came through in the cash? I don't remember. I've been drinking a little Delion, so please forgive me. Out to Delion. I don't know if they should free Diddy, but good tequila. Yeah, shout out to Jay Walker. Shout out to Sheila. Shout out to Cree Cree. And shout out to Leon for pulling up in the Cash App. I appreciate that. Helping me be a little less dusty, stream a little less dusty. You guys mean the world to me, pulling up on me and rocking with me. Definitely appreciate it. Hope that I can repay you giving me attention and your time, getting better with streaming, having graphics, having better video quality. We're gonna build the lab up so that we can do this thing the right way. I will be going live again. Uh Maybe Sunday. Don't hold me to it. If you guys ever have any ideas for a topic, anything, Jay Tillman says, I don't want no parts of a wrench if it comes with that. Yeah, that's why you ain't getting one, Carlton. But no, shout out to my brother Jay. If you guys ever have an idea for some type of topic that you think we should talk about, or something you think I should research and get some videos about, drop it on the post. You see me in the Discords, y'all see me in the YouTube streets. Go ahead and me know. I will be creating my own Discord and a Instagram just for the channel, just so we can have a community and we can share information. Book club is coming in January. So as we get ready for the book club in January, just go in the different type of books you guys want to read. We'll be reading a different black theme, black author book every month next year, every single month. So we're gonna have 12 books on the table. That book that Gucci Man was promoting, episodes that we talked about on the last stream, might be one of the books. Big Sean got a book I'm interested in. Got that Black as Fuck history. That might be the first book because it's big. We can read that in January. We can read that in Black History Month. I'm thinking we're gonna start off with uh, the Black as Fuck history. We got a book called Black People Invented Everything. Excuse me. So I got a couple ideas. So just reach out on the community post. Let me know how y'all can. We're gonna try to get the book club popping at the top of the year. I got a couple other ideas. This is like a community based thing, community and conversation. That's my whole ideology and theme for the platform. It's not gonna always be such racial topics, but I like talking about black people. I like talking about black issues and things that make us be better for ourselves, things that can reveal our true image. Stephen James says top pro should hood people be separate from non-hood blacks. I don't think so, bro. I think that criminals need to be separated, and criminals need to have we need to look at black criminals a certain way, and not black people that we associate criminals with. I love the hood. I love some ghetto shit that's non-violent or non-criminal based. Cookouts in the summertime, block parties, going to black-owned cigar lounges. I love black people, and I'm from the hood, so I do love me some hood shit. So, car clubs. A lot of the car clubs. Uh, Oh, that was your topic discussion. Great topic, Stephen James. That I'm gonna work on it, brother. I'm about to put it in my notes. I'm gonna work on it because you see, I was about to get the yapping already. So clearly, we got something. Appreciate you, Stephen James. Get us up out of here. Thank you again for everybody who pulled up on me. Truly appreciate it. I'm gonna work on clipping up the live streams because they so long. Maybe it be some good conversations going on. Going to Metro KRC, you getting a wrench too. You can't hide from it. You can't hide from it. Rachel G, all y'all getting it too. I'm gonna clip up the live stream so that we can you know smaller some of the conversations can be go to in case you missed it. Anybody else want to check it out? Again, appreciate Media Man for the statistics. No, appreciate all y'all. Definitely, definitely am probably gonna stream Sunday. I wanted to have a laid back stream where we just kind of review some funny stuff. We just kind of kick it. Maybe we could do that Sunday. Stephen James says, I always said that because yeah, I agree with you, can be hood and violent, but does hood also mean non-educated? And yeah, we're gonna have that conversation, brother. And I hope you come up on the panel when we do have that conversation. I do not believe that hood means non-educated because I know a lot of hood people that are educated, like really educated, that go to college. Out to the young brother that invented that new source of fuel or reinvented source of creating fuel out of plastic. He kind of hood. He's not super hood talking, but he's from the hood. You know what I mean? He's from the country hood. So we gonna do our thing. We gonna do our thing. All right, Rachel G, I'm gonna give you your first wrench, but you know what it comes with. Just close your eyes. Again, I appreciate everybody pulling up. I got some funny videos. Maybe y'all missed the intro. I'm gonna re-roll my videos from the intro. Everybody enjoy your Friday night. Take a shot, take a drink, be safe, be healthy, drink some water, stay prolific. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here.
Whoop-de-doo. You've heard of Hooters, now get ready for Cooters.
Okay, let's go.
Instead of having waitresses with big breasts, I've gathered the biggest camel toes in the city. All of our waitresses will be circus trained and will be walking around on stilts, so you can get the best view of their snatch from the comfort of your chair. And they can queef on command. We won't serve wings, only legs. And
I had a dream to be dripping all VVS diamonds. Now I'm flexing on Malcolm and I'm shining. 500K on the wrist, 60K in my mouth. I brush with Windex, gang.
Don't fuck about no beef, nigga. I'm about money. Unless the beef is translating into money, then what we talking about? We too grown to be talking about some beef. Beef? Beef? Ain't no such thing as beef no more. It's calculated moves to figure out how.
I'm sorry.
Taser.
Oh my nuts!
17. What?
oh God, my back! Oh fuck!
Taser. Taser.
Yeah, I'm finna give it to you bitches today, yeah. Miss Dick Dash back with another one, hoe. You think I was playing with you, bitches? I got me fucked up, hoe. Hoe. She got that Lulu, bitch, Lulu, bitch, Lulu, shot that Lulu, yeah, Lulu, yeah, Lulu, bitch, yeah. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch, bend over. She got that Lulu on her head and that Lulu on her head. Bend over, bitch. Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Lulu on the butt. She got that Lulu on her head, yeah. Bitch, she thick as fuck.
she wanted 40. Yeah, yeah, she wanted 40. Yeah, yeah, she wanted 40. Yeah, yeah, she wanted 40. So she called me sugar daddy with the caddy. She want money, I want honey. Sugar daddy, you want money?
Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Hold up. Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Hold up. Then I pop out. I got that shit on. I'm getting money now. I was the one that used that shit on. I feel like Marvin Gaye. Yo, bitch, just told me let's get it on. Let's go. What? Yo, bitch, call me Myron. Hold up. Then I pop out. I got that shit on. I'm getting money now. I was the one that used that shit on. I feel like Marvin Gaye. Yo, bitch, just told me let's get it on. And I wake up every day, get fly as fuck. I'm Mr. Put It On and go fuck up a check on your bitch. She know my money long. She said you broke as hell, ain't got no paper, so y'all don't get along. She see my money long, so she gon' blow me like a trombone. Let's go. Yo, bitch got me saved as Myron in her telephone. But that's her cousin name. I swear to God, this little bitch hella wrong. One day I caught her phone when she was sleeping. He was at her home. Then he picked up her phone, said, who is this? And I said, nigga, hold up. What? Yo, bitch call me Myron. Hold up. Then I pop out. I got that shit on. I'm getting money now. I was the one that used that shit on. I feel like Marvin Gaye. Yo, bitch just told me let's get it on. Let's go. Just like Mario Luigi. I swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. Swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. I've been living rated R. My mama told me, baby, you a star. My mama told me, baby, you a star. And you finna make it far. In the pool, swerving in the foreign car. Wait till we pool, swerving in the foreign cars. Living life like no tomorrow. All this water on my body, dripping Fiji. All this water on my body, dripping Fiji. Just like Mario Luigi. I swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. Swear to God, my life a movie, it ain't PG. I've been living rated R. My mama told me, baby, you a star. My mama told me, baby, you a star. And you finna make it far. In the pool, swerving in the foreign car. Wait till we pool, swerving in the foreign cars. Living life like no tomorrow. When I was
I know I'm rolling. It's almost ready.
We're rolling.
We on camera now?
Yeah.
Oh, revolution, revolution, revolution. I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Hey, come on, dog. Stay in my face. Listen, I'm sure a lot of you probably think you know what's going on in the world. But quite frankly, y'all don't know shit. Is that me floating or you? Come on, nigga. That don't matter. I'm talking about the man. The man!
Shout out to somebody sent me a dub, but I don't know if you want me to say your whole. Okay, Natural KRC. Shout out to Natural KRC for the dub. I got a little bit more in the tank. I appreciate you, sister, my little shea butter mama. Yes, yes, Jessica, that is my favorite clip. Shout out to Natural KRC. I appreciate you, mama. I appreciate everybody pulling up. Safe, blessed weekend. Y'all gonna see me in these YouTube streets. Appreciate y'all. Out to Cooters. Remember, when y'all see Cooters pop up, come get y'all some wings and look at the moose knuckle.
You've heard of Hooters, now get ready for Cooters.
Okay, let's go.
Instead of having waitresses with big breasts, I've gathered the biggest camel toes in the city. All of our waitresses will be circus trained and will be walking around on stilts, so you can get the best view of their snatch from the comfort of your chair. And they can queef on command. We won't serve wings, only legs.
Whoop-de-doo.
I told you not to put your hands on me.
Ma'am, get down from there.
Now you feel me? Huh? You still gonna talk slick?
Lady, I didn't
You
even...
called me out my name right here in front of everybody. You think I'm playing sad again?
Don't fuck about no beef, nigga. I'm about money. Unless the beef is translating into money, then what we talking about? We too.
I know I'm rolling. It's almost ready.
We're rolling.
We on camera now?
Yeah.
Oh, revolution, revolution, revolution. I'm broadcasting from an undisclosed location. Hey, come on, dog. Stay in my face. Listen, I'm sure a lot of you probably think you know what's going on in the world. But quite frankly, y'all don't know shit. Is that me floating or you? Come on, nigga. That don't matter. I'm talking about the man. The man!